Canada Cup 84. Tonight, game number 1.
Our players have probably had more experience in international play than they've had in the National Hockey League. We have 5 members from the past Olympic team. We have several members from the gold medal team of 1980. So from this standpoint, we're ready to play.
Well, this tournament is the biggest tournament for us in Sweden, in the world. So we hope to win, and it means a lot to the people back home in Sweden. So we are really coming to play.
Tonight, from the Halifax Metro Center, it's Team Sweden versus Team USA. Hello, everyone. I'm Ron Hewitt, and this is it, the series that hockey fans everywhere have been waiting for. This is Canada Cup 1984, and nice to have you along from Halifax. With me is Don Edwards, no stranger to Canada Cup play. It was in 1981 that Don represented our country of Canada. Don, right now, tell us what's going on in the minds of these hockey players awaiting the start of the first game.
They're all very, very excited, Ron. They've worked very, very hard for the last 3 or 4 weeks. Both teams are very, very well prepared. And Tom Barrasso will definitely be a big key to the United States. The Swedes come in here as a big disappointment in 81. They are ready to go. I know that Chico Resch is looking forward to getting in this series, and everyone expects the U.S. to play very, very well.
Well, of course, as you mentioned, Team Sweden now has some very experienced NHLers. They will not be intimidated.
No, they won't. I've talked to the coach. He says they've worked hard. They went to a little private training camp. I think they're ready.
We're all set to go. Don't go away. We'll be right back with the first period as Team Sweden meets Team USA on Canada Cup 84.
Welcome back to our TSN Sports Control Center in Toronto. We are moments away now from Canada Cup hockey in Halifax. And before we take you to the Metro Center and our commentators, Don Edwards and Ron Hewitt, a few final thoughts from Roger Nielsen, Bruce Hood, and Jim Van Horn. First of all, with Canada's first game against Germany tonight in Montreal, I think we've got the best game of the day as we pit the Swedes against Team USA. Roger, a couple of quick thoughts on Team Sweden and Team USA.
Key game for both teams. Both teams have to win to retain really any chance of winning the Canada Cup. And for the Swedes, they will want the open ice to work with. And with players like Gradin and his speed, and Nielsen and his stick handling, and Lube and Naslund steaming down the wings, that's the kind of game they're going to want to play. It'll be interesting to see how the U.S. defend against that. They can either hang back, or they can go in with a forechecking blitz. And those of us who know Bob Johnson know how he's a master strategist, and he's liable to even do both in the game. And I think this is going to be the most interesting thing to watch.
Okay, thank you very much, Roger. Quick thought, Jimmy, from Bruce Hood.
Bruce, what do the officials look for in a game like this?
Well, they're just going to let the players play the game and see how it develops. And the Swedes the other night got into a little bit of pushing and shoving, and that's new for them. And be interesting to see if they keep that up playing against the USA team today.
Bruce, thank you very much. John?
All right, so it's Sweden against the USA. Game 1, Canada Cup 84. The venue, the Metro Center in Halifax, and our TSN commentators standing by, Donnie Edwards of the Calgary Flames and Ron Hewitt. You're on.
Skip Ferguson, a member of the Nova Scotia Sports Heritage Hall of Fame, is operations manager of Esso Petroleum Canada. With the 2 captains, please come to center ice for the official face-off.
Official opening ceremonies taking place at center ice between the 2 captains from Team USA, Rod Langway, and for Team Sweden, Thomas Gradin. The puck about to be dropped for the official opening ceremonies here in Halifax. It is dropped, and Rod Langway hands it to the young gentleman who just dropped the puck for the official opening ceremonies in a capacity crowd here in Halifax.
The 2 teams, as part of the international spirit, will now exchange gifts. The 2 captains, now, ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise and join Diane Fitzgerald in the singing of O Canada.
The singing of the national anthem as both teams get set for first period action in game number 1. Tom Barrasso will start in goal for Team USA. Calder Cup winner last year, Vezina Trophy winner. What a start for a career in the National Hockey League for young Tom Barrasso. The goaltender for Team Sweden will be Peter Lindmark. Lindmark, 27 years of age, and he was practicing earlier. It looks as if he is all set to go. He is very, very excited to be involved in Team Sweden. The referee for game number 1 is Yuri Karadin from the Soviet. Yuri Karadin, the referee, and working with Yuri, the two linesmen are from the National Hockey League, two very experienced gentlemen, Ron Finn and Gerard Gauthier. Starting for Team USA at center will be Bryan Trottier. On the right side will be Joe Mullen. On the left wing, Mark Johnson. Back on defense, Gordy Roberts and Chris Chelios. And for Team Sweden, Bent Åke Gustafsson will start at center. On the left side will be Anders Håkansson. On the right side is Matt Naslund. And back on defense is Matt Thelin along with Bo Eriksson. The starting lineups for both Team Sweden and Team USA. And Donnie, we're just about set to go. A very exciting moment, of course, as Canada Cup 84 is underway. Team USA will be certainly anchored by Rod Langway on defense throughout this entire series.
Rod's going to be a big part. He's going to add a big bolster to their defense, and Mike Ramsey will also be a big part.
The puck is dropped. Play is underway. Canada Cup 84. And from the faceoff, the puck goes back. Shot in over the line and offside as an early whistle. And I am sure that both teams are just a little nervous. We're going to have a few mistakes probably in the early stages.
Well, they're both still going to feel each other out, Ron. They played an exhibition game. It was a high-scoring game. I expect this game to be much, much different. The Swedish coach thinks that he's figured out the U.S. He's got to play a tight defensive game in both ends.
Some discussion going on at the penalty timekeepers bench right now with the officials.
Well, the clock didn't seem to start. Now they're having a big question on how much time really ran off the clock.
Both teams elect to have their players remain on the ice. There'll be no change.
It seems to be that there's as much pressure on the timekeepers as there are on the players, Ron.
And we're going to start it all over again if you would judge from the clock. The puck is dropped, and here we go. Same play. Back to Gordy Roberts, right side. Over on the far side to Chris Chelios. Stolen by Team Sweden as Matt Naslund turns. Shoots it slides behind Tom Barrasso. And around it comes to Mark Johnson, the son of the coach. Hard check thrown. Puck down the right side. Carried in over the line by Johnson. Drop back a shot. Oh, and he scored! What a passing play. Right from the opening.
Well, a beautiful play by Mark Johnson. Went in over the blue line, just sort of hesitated, took the defensive with him. Bryan Trottier sort of delayed in the top of the slot and let it go.
Look at this pass.
He shot it right off the fly. The puck come across, Bryan let it go, and Peter Lindmark just didn't have a chance. He got a good piece of it, but it just seemed to slip over his arm.
This is another angle. And watch this perfect pass. Good shot.
Peter Lindmark got caught a little bit back in the net, but I think Mark Johnson made a good play because it got Peter back in the net.
Trachier gets the goal. Perfect pass. Here they come. Shot just to the wide. Barrasso down. Fighting for it along the boards. It goes into the corner. Taken away by Håkan Lund. Down the right wing. Team Sweden keeping it in. Going into the corner along the boards is Anders Eldebrink. Eldebrink back behind Barrasso. Racing back forward is Phil Housley. Housley clearing it up to the center ice area, where it is taken by David Jensen. Jensen drops it back. They have to wait for everyone to get back on side, and Team USA caught offside as both teams elect now to make changes. 18:57 remaining, 1-0. USA leading on a goal by Bryan Trottier.
If there is an early pattern starting this game, Ron, I think both teams are trying to counter on each other very quickly, and that forces the defenseman to move the puck quickly.
Dave Christian at center ice for Team USA. And from the face-off, it comes back in over the blue line, just in front of the penalty timekeeper's bench. Back to Rod Langway. Langway on the left side, dumps it down to the left of Peter Lindmark, and a whistle. And a first penalty being called by referee Yuri Karadin. A tripping penalty is going to be assessed, and getting the gate will be Thomas Gradine. That's the first penalty of the series.
Rod Langway is going to play a big part of this series. He's going to get a lot of ice time, and I think the Swedes are going to try and wear him down. Don't be surprised if they dump it to his corner a lot, and Rod is forced to handle the puck. I know that the Swedes have really concentrated their game on Rod, and Rod is going to have to plan on playing a lot.
The face-off will take place outside of the Team USA blue line. Bryan Trottier will center this line with Mark Johnson and Joe Mullen. There's the Swedish coach, Leif Bourque, and this is his first series. And from the face-off, back it goes. Gordie Roberts back for it, back behind Tom Barassa. Tried to clear it into the corner. It is drilled off the boards around to the right side. Mark Johnson starting out. Johnson, rink-wide pass to Trachier, in over the line. Trachier goes into the corner, squeezed heavily into the boards and taken out of the play by Peter Anderson. Puck comes back to the point. Roberts over on the right side, and that went over the net, over the glass. And a whistle on the play as a good quick shot by Chris Chelios, playing the point on this power play with 1:35 left in the penalty to Thomas Gradine.
Bryan Trottier, there's a lot of controversy why he joined the U.S. team, but knowing Bryan honestly believes he's a North American citizen, and he has made his home in Long Island. And since Bryan has decided that he plans to live there, he says, why not play for the U.S.? He firmly believes he is a North American citizen.
Gustafsson at center ice for Team Sweden. The puck is cleared back into the USA zone. Back for it is Roberts. Roberts waits behind Barassa. Pass left side. Trachier starts out. Comes up to the Sweden blue line. Shoots it. Back in for it down the left side was Bo Eriksson. Eriksson cleared it back behind his own goal out to the center ice area. Roberts at center. Team USA on the move up to the Swedish blue line where they are stopped. There's 1:05 remaining in the penalty to Thomas Gradine. Puck is stolen by Mats Naslund. Gustafsson couldn't get to it in time. They lob it high and it slides back down to U.S. territory. Going back for it is Chris Chelios. Chelios played for the U.S. Olympic team 1984 edition. There's the loose puck at center. A hard check was thrown and an elbow went up, and now players mill around with 17:26 remaining. Tempers could be short as both teams very anxious to carry on.
I think Rob Carpenter just decided to get a little too aggressive here. I know that one of the things the U.S. definitely want to do is try and take the muscle to the Swedes.
Well, he did that without a stick. As a result, he's in the penalty box now. There's 42 seconds remaining in the penalty to Thomas Gradine, and now a 2-minute minor for Carpenter. From the face-off, the puck comes back behind goaltender Peter Lindmark. Team Sweden starting out led by Kent Nilsson. Nilsson at center. Up to the USA blue line. He's squeezed out of the play by Phil Housley. Puck slides back behind Barassa. Around on the left side. Fighting for it along the boards. Now it comes out to center ice. Lawton. He lost it. Rod Langway couldn't get a stick on it. And Dave Christian takes it for Team USA. There's only 8 seconds remaining in the penalty to Thomas Gradine. Langway back behind his own goal. Up forechecking is Thomas Steen. A pass over to Phil Housley. Now it's cleared on the right side and was handed right to Kent Nilsson. Nilsson carrying it down in over the line. From behind, he dropped it back to Eldebrink. Now it slides back to center ice and all the way back down over Team Sweden blue line. Back for it is Eldebrink. Eldebrink back behind goaltender Peter Lindmark. USA in front 1-0 on an early goal by Bryan Trottier. Coming out to center ice, up in over the line. Thomas Steen right in front, a shot. Barassa makes the save. Cut down the short side. Putting the pressure on now. The puck was kept in by Peter Sundstrom. Good check thrown back behind Barassa. And now coming out to the center ice area, here's Mark Johnson in over the line. Right on, a save by Lindmark. Steers it in the corner to his right. Carrying it off the boards is Peter Sundstrom. Sundstrom back behind his own blue line. He leaves it. Now here is Pat Sundstrom. Sundstrom up to the Team USA line. Dropping it over in the corner to the left side to Eldebrink. Eldebrink failed to get a shot away. Now it goes back over to Thomas Gradin. That penalty is up. There's 11 seconds now remaining in the penalty to Carpenter. Team Sweden, the man advantage. Back to the point. In it goes. A shot. That was blocked as Peter Sundstrom let it go right in front of scramble, and that was knocked away. It's cleared out by Bryan Trottier. The teams are now at full strength. Neither team scored while they had the man advantage. Puck off the boards, left side. Anders Håkansson shoots it behind Barassa. Back forward is Langway. Langway over on the right side to Bob Brook. Brook behind his own goal. Taken out of the play by Håkansson. Shot back down to the Team Sweden zone to the left of Peter Lindmark. Back for it to touch it, to lead. 1-0. USA leads Sweden in game number 1. Face-off will go to the right of Tom Barassa. Dave Christian will take the face-off against Gustafsson. From the draw, back to the point, it goes to Bo Eriksson. Eriksson shot it in a scramble in front. Barassa down. Langway lost his stick, takes his man out of the play, and USA recovers. It is dropped back. Up over the line, Tommy Hirsch on the ice for the first time for Team USA. Loose puck. Now it's cleared over on the left side. Racing back down for it, failing to get to it in time was Mats Naslund. Puck back to center ice. Up in over the line. Couldn't get to it in time. Eklund was racing for it. Eklund recovers, drops it back, a shot. Barassa makes the save. Good drive by Naslund. Naslund recovers in the corner to the right of Barassa. Here's a drive. Point blank range by Gustafsson. That was blocked. Another shot. That went wide in front. Oh, and just fanning on it was Eklund. Puck is in USA territory. Back to the point, a drive. That is knocked down by Dave Christian. Langway takes it back behind his own goal. Langway over on the right side. Cleared out to center to Christian. Christian turned. Being chased. Puck goes loose to center ice where it is stolen. Carrying it in over the line is Gustafsson. A shot well wide of the mark, and Langway took him out of the play. And we're going to have a penalty as Ron Langway is going to get the gate. USA leads 1-0 in the first period. Well, Don Edwards, they cannot afford to lose Rod Langway too often.
No, he's a very important part, and Bob Johnson said before the game he planned on Rod killing a lot of penalties, and here they go. The Swedes have got control.
From the faceoff, Trachier gets the draw back behind Tom Barassa in goal for the USA. Still in the USA territory, taken out of the play by Thomas Steen. The puck goes loose, and here's a high sticking penalty being handed out. And Steen and Gorby Roberts go at it. We say tempers are short in this opening game.
Ron, who says the players who play in the NHL, when they get in international competition, they have friends? They quickly lose them.
Well, Rod Langway went for cross-checking. Now we'll see referee Yuri Karadin. Steen gets the gate.
Looks like Thomas Steen gives Gordy Roberts a little high stick, and Gordy Roberts retaliates. Russian referee is right there, calls it. And here we go.
Both teams a man short. From the face-off, the puck comes back over the USA blue line, where it is taken out by Mike Ramsey. Ramsey failed to get it out. Here is a drive. Barassa makes the save on a drive by Kent Nilsson. Coming out to the center ice area. Puck cleared over on the right side, and in over the line was Brian Eriksson, just slightly ahead of the play. Young Tom Barassa has been tested early in this first period. Come up with some big ones.
Well, he's made 2 key stops. He's taken at least 2 goals away from the Swedes. And, you know, Tommy's best part of his game is in tight. He's got those big legs. He seems to get down on the ice, spreads them out, and takes away the whole bottom part of the net.
Face-off near the center ice line. Pat Sundstrom taking the face-off for Team Sweden against Neil Broughton. Puck is dropped. Sundstrom gets the draw. It comes back to the Swedish blue line. Up to the center ice area. Pat Sundstrom now with possession of the puck. Passes over on the left side, coming down, in over the line, checked heavily out of the play was Eldebrink. And now USA repossession of the puck, coming out with Phil Housley, a shot right on. Lindmark the save. Couldn't handle the rebound. It comes back behind his own goal. Along the boards, in the corner, trying to work his way out was Brian Erickson. Left it, squeezed along the boards was Neil Broughton. Sticks go up, and a quick whistle on the play behind goaltender Peter Lindmark.
Peter Lindmark is really tested here. Phil Housley comes over the blue line, uses the defenseman as a real good screen, and Peter Lindmark was up on his feet, got a good sight of the puck after it hit the defenseman's leg, and made a real good save and controlled the rebound. He was on his feet, he got a hold of it, went down, control the puck, and was able to control it, went in behind the net, and then the defenseman cleared it out. That's a good play by a goalkeeper.
56 seconds remaining in the penalty to Rod Langway. A minute 7 remaining in the penalty for Steen. Face-off to the right of Lindmark. Here is a shot. That was blocked as Roberts let it go. And now on the move, coming out is Gustafsson. Gustafsson carries it in over the line. He is pulled down, and the puck slides back into the corner. Some good checking going on by both teams. Puck still in USA territory. Fighting for it along the boards was Dave Christian. He lost it, though. It comes right out in front. Here is a backhand and a save by Mats Naslund. Right from point-blank range in front of Tom Barrasso.
Just as I said, Ron, Barrasso goes down. He's got those legs spread. Mats Naslund lets a real good shot go. It's in the corner of the net. Tommy kicks out his pad and gets it with his glove and his pad. Good save. Little delay here, over to Mats Naslund, quick backhand, there he is right there. He's right in position, that's where a goaltender should be. He took away the entire bottom part of the net.
The face-off will go to the left of Barrasso. As we get set for the draw, and from the draw, it comes back behind Barrasso, still kept in this time by Eldebrink. Recovered and driven off the boards. Forced back for it was Thomas Eriksson. Eriksson trying to clear it out. It bounces back to center. Eriksson has it again. Both teams still a man short. Coming down, up in over the line. Carrying it to one side. Coming in front. Kent Nilsson now trying for it. Nilsson was checked out of the play. Now it's taken back by Håkan Lube. Lube tried to get a shot away. That was blocked. Puck bounces out to center, and we have a whistle on the play. Kent Nilsson, teammate of yours, Donnie.
He sure is, and everyone, you know, when Kent's on his game, he's maybe one of the best hockey players in the world. They don't call him the magic man for nothing. I've seen him do things with the puck that no athlete or anyone that I've ever competed with does, and he just seems to have the magic touch that just seems to, the puck just seems to ride on a stick. It's like it's tied to a string.
Penalty is up to Rod Langway. 4 seconds remaining in the penalty to Thomas Steen of Sweden. Face-off inside the USA blue line. From the draw, the puck comes back. It is shot out to the center ice area to Neil Broughton. Broughton was checked. Now coming down in over the line, this is Peter Sundstrom. Sundstrom, his shot was well wide of the mark. It bounces over on the left side to Telvin. Telvin tried. He couldn't get a shot away. Coming in, struggling along the boards, was Peter Anderson. And now it's being held for a face-off that will take place in the USA Network, and that goes to the left of Tom Barrasso.
Bob Johnson did a lot of preparing for this tournament. He studied films of all the European teams, and before the game I got a chance to talk to him. The biggest concern of his was making sure he got the right players on the ice at the right time, especially having 11 centers in his lineup.
11-12 remaining in the first period. Game number 1 of Canada Cup 84. Dave Christian. He'll take the face-off as he moves into position and from the draw. Coming back for it now was Tom Hirsch. Hirsch drives it back behind Barrasso. Off the boards, right side, shot down to the Team Sweden zone. Racing back for it was Brian Mullen, but a whistle on the play. With 10:58 remaining, Team USA leading by a score of 1-0 on Canada Cup 84. Face off to the right of Barrasso. Right in front, Barrasso down and makes the save on a good move. Barrasso had to be quick on that. Back behind his own goal is Mats Thelin. Talene, a pass out to center ice. Coming down the right side, trying to race for it was Gustafsson. Couldn't get to it in time. Turning around is Pat Sundstrom. Sundstrom leaving it now for Talene. Talene passing it on the right side for Mats Naslund. He failed to get anywhere with it. Back to Gustafsson. Gustafsson had it stolen. Coming down in over the line is Brian Mullen. Mullen dropped it back. No one was there. And here comes Naslund. Naslund down the right side. Up in over the line. A pass right in front. Fanning on a shot and getting it wide was Pat Sundstrom. Puck on the right side. Team USA regrouping. Coming down in over the line. A pass in front. Oh, and Mullen couldn't get a stick on it. Coming out to the center ice area, Bob Brook chases his man. Coming in over the line now is Thomas Steen. Going into the corner, had it stolen by Chris Chelios. Chelios passing on the right side. Out it goes to Ed Olachuk. Olachuk dropping it back. Chelios drives it in over the Swedish blue line and offside. Ed Olachuk, '1 draft choice for Chicago, and Chris Chelios, Olympic experience.
They were big parts of the U.S. team of '84, and Chicago tried very, very hard. They ended up making a deal with Los Angeles Kings to get Ed Olachuk, and they say that he may be one of the best products the United States has put out in the last 5 years.
9 minutes, 42 seconds remaining. First period, game #1 of Canada Cup. Puck is back behind Peter Lindmark in goal for Team Sweden. And the hitting has been rather sharp in this first period. This is Roberts. Roberts dumping it off the glass. Back it goes behind for Ed Olachuk. Out in front, loose puck. It's recovered by Håkan Loob. Loob coming out to center. Passed it in over the line, offside. Kent Nilsson just in ahead of the play. Good end-to-end action, Don.
Yes, it is. The game is moving very fast. Both teams are really trying to finish their checks, and it's really a hard-hitting, aggressive game.
This check behind the goaltender Peter Lindmark as players came crashing in.
Well, they certainly are aggressive. There's elbows being flown around, and everyone's really aggressive. Everyone's on their game.
From the face-off outside of the USA blue line, over to Johnson. Johnson dumping it down to the left of Peter Lindmark. Back into the corner along the boards. They fight for it. Coming up with it was Thomas Gradin, but he failed to get it out. Now it's taken by Telveen. Telveen, a long pass intended for Pat Sundstrom. Couldn't get to it in time. Still in USA territory, right in front. Pat Sundstrom couldn't get a shot away, and we had a whistle on the play.
Patty Sundstrom might be one of the fastest players in the National Hockey League. He's a member of the Vancouver Canucks. I know when we played him in the playoffs, he was one of the key threats for us, and we really tried to shut him down.
Well, you've seen lots of action in this first period with 8 minutes and 53 seconds remaining. The face-off moves outside of Team USA's line. Trachier to take the draw. He gets the draw, and it comes back to Telveen. Telveen a shot well wide of the mark. Back for it is Phil Housley. Housley shoots it. It slides back down over Team Sweden's blue line. Coming back for it, Telveen. Telveen works his way out on the right side. A pass out to Thomas Gradin. Gradin tried one and just failed to click with Sundstrom. It goes back into the corner. He got to it in time. They fight for it along the boards. Puck slides behind Barrasso. Now it's shot out to center. Racing back for it is Mats Talene. Here is a drive, and that was blocked as Trachier spun around and let a quick shot go. Defenseman Langway. Rod Langway at center. Carries it all the way in over the line. A pass in front for Johnson. Oh, just wide as he was pulled down, but a good move by young Mark Johnson with 8:04 remaining. Team USA ahead by 1. USA 1, Sweden no score. Neil Broughton to take the face-off to the right of goaltender Peter Lindmark for Team USA. The puck still in their zone on the right wing. Coming up now, here's a long drive right on as Sandstrom let one go. Cleared around to the right side. Spun around was David Jensen. Couldn't get it out. Rod Langway takes it back behind his own goal. Passing over to Brian Erickson. Out to center ice. Jensen couldn't get to it in time. It comes down and over the line. This is Jensen, and a whistle on the play. With 7:36 remaining here in the first period from Halifax.
One of the most impressive things I've seen so far, Ron, is the Swedish defense, they're without Boris Salming, Stefan Persson, and Thomas Jansson. Yet these defensemen are really standing up. They're really moving the puck out of their end quickly, and they're really following up into the offensive zone.
Face off of the center ice line. Dave Christian getting the draw, and it comes back over to Chris Chelios. Chelios failed to clear it out. Comes back down on the right side for Mats Thelin. Thelin lost it. Back to Chelios, over to Gordy Roberts. Roberts tried a pass, that was intercepted. Comes bouncing back to the center ice area to Thomas Sandstrom. Sandstrom carries it in over the line, goes into the corner, checked along the boards as they fight for it. Sandstrom is there with Jon Clausen. Trying to get it out was Dave Christian. It comes back behind Barrasso. They still can't get it out. It comes right in front. Sliding and falling to the ice was Sandstrom. Off the boards in the corner, still in USA territory as Team Sweden puts on the pressure. Racing in along the boards, this is Sandstrom. Back behind Barrasso, and a whistle on the play. But Team Sweden putting on the pressure in that particular instance.
Well, they're certainly going to have the heat on the USA defense. And, you know, I thought that maybe when Sweden got down 1-0, they'd sort of panic. But they didn't. They just held their composure, and they're slowly getting back in the hockey game. They've had some real good opportunities.
6 minutes, 44 seconds remaining, first period. The face-off outside of the Team USA line. Taking the face-off was Rob Carpenter, shooting it down right onto the stick of Peter Lindmark. Lindmark leaves it. Eldebrink trying to get it out right in front. A scramble and a good opportunity. Another shot. And right there on top of the play was Eddie Olachuk. Here is a drive from the point. That just went wide. It bounces back. Another drive. Good shot by Ramsey. A scramble in front. Lindmark is down. Whistle, no further play.
Peter Lindmark, good concentration. Held his composure, kept good concentration on the puck, and made 2 big saves.
Lots of action in front of Peter Lindmark. He innocently left it to one side, and pulled down behind was Eldebrink, and that's when he lost the puck out in front.
A real good save right there, and then the rebound got his arm out, was able to stop that, and got back up on his feet, and he's ready to go again. That is good goalkeeping, and that's what Sweden is going to need to be successful.
Did everything but go in the net.
Here's a goaltender's view on the way we see the puck. And you think you can see it through that scramble, and you're moving around. You've got 200-pound bodies standing in front of you, and you have to be ducking and diving and everything else, and it's a tough job.
Bryan Trottier to take the face-off. Back it comes. A shot by Ramsey went wide from the point. Trying to keep it in was Phil Housley. The puck slides back to the USA blue line. Housley goes back for it. Over to Ramsey on the left defense. Long pass. And Joe Mullen couldn't get to it in time. Coming back and driving it around the boards was Eldebrink. He lost it. Trachier fanned on it. And now it's driven out to center. Ramsey is there. Ramsey shoots it right back into the Team Sweden zone. Off the boards, over on the left side. Sweden having difficulty trying to get out. Kept in, dropping back. Here is a shot. A good quick shot by Housley, and a good save by Lindmark. Puck comes down. Nilsson carrying it in over the line. Here is a drive. That went wide. Back behind Barrasso. Trachier off the boards. Comes back to the defense. Telvin keeps it in for Team Sweden. Phil Housley back behind his own goal. Team USA trying to regroup now as they start out to center. It's carried by Mark Johnson. He simply dumps it back to the Sweden zone. They turn and try to get it out at center again. A bouncing puck comes back in over the blue line. Michael Telvin, a pass out to center as Pat Sundstrom passes it over on the left side to Thomas Gradin. They fight for it along the boards. It comes around to the near side to David Jensen. Jensen tried a long pass, failed to click with Neil Broughton. It comes back down as Peter Lindmark drives it off the boards. Back out over the Swedish blue line, and it's kept back in offside with 4:42 remaining. USA leading Team Sweden 1-0 on Canada Cup 84. This is Bo Eriksson trying to clear it out. He finally does. It slides back for Langway, back behind his own blue line. Langway over on the left side Tom Hirsch tried to center it. It bounced off a stick. Coming back for it was Mats Naslund. Naslund dropping it back for Mats Thelin. On the right side, carrying it down. This is Naslund. Winds up, lets it go. Blocked by Langway. Bouncing back. Thelin tried to keep it in, and a whistle on the play with 4 minutes remaining here in the first period. This telecast is protected by copyright and is intended solely for the non-commercial entertainment of our viewing audience. Any use, reproduction, or distribution in whole or in part of the pictures or descriptions herein contained without the express written consent of the Sports Network is strictly prohibited. 4 minutes remaining. Face-off will go to the left of Peter Lindmark. Taking the face-off for Team USA will be Dave Christian. Players out of position. Gerard Gauthier drops the puck. It bounces into the corner, taken by Eldebrink. Eldebrink trying to clear it out. This is Kent Nilsson dropping it back. Nilsson for Thomas Eriksson. Puck comes all the way back to USA territory, and well in ahead of the play was Kent Nilsson. The offside is called. Team USA making a change now.
Hawk and Lube, maybe one of the most popular players in Calgary. As soon as he got there, the fans picked up the name Hawk, and for the rest of the year, that Hawk was a big fan favorite in Calgary.
Face-off will take place between Team Sweden's blue line and the center ice red line. Hawk and Lube on the ice for Team Sweden. From the face-off, Brian Lawton got it back in over the Team Sweden blue line. It's on the right wing. Lube taken out of the play. Back it comes for Eriksson. Eriksson drives it in over the USA blue line, and it comes all the way down the left side. Racing down is Eddie Olachuk. A shot! Save! Rebound comes back. In front, they score! Bob Carpenter. The big play made by Eddie Olachuk, and Carpenter getting on the rebound as they move in front. USA now takes another goal lead. They lead 2-0.
Well, Ed Olachuk gets the puck over the red line. He streaks for the net. Peter Lindmark comes out, challenges him, makes a real good save, but the Swedish winger and the other defensemen don't get back and rob Carpenter into the open net.
Big play by Eddie Olachuk, young 18-year-old from Chicago, and Rob Carpenter as Lindmark was caught. Pat Sundstrom has the puck at center, shooting it in over the line. Thomas Gradin couldn't get to it. Back behind Borasso. Squeezed heavily along the boards was Peter Anderson. With the puck is Gradin. Gradin was checked, but it comes back to the center ice area. And nearly having the puck stolen was Peter Anderson. Trachier got the loose puck and flipped it back down to the Team Sweden zone to the left of goaltender Peter Lindmark. They struggle for it. And now it comes back behind Lindmark. Working his way out was Telvin. Telvin, a pass. It's over on the right side to Mats Naslund. Too far. Naslund turns, tried to center it in front. He did. Quick shot by Peter Sundstrom, and Borasso was right there. Puck is driven back down to the Team Sweden zone. Back for it now is Mats Thelin. This is Thelin. A pass on the right side. Off the boards for Sundstrom. He leaves it, coming down and over the line for Peter Sundstrom. A shot right on, a save on a drive by Hawkinson. Puck comes back behind Borasso. Failed to get it out, but a whistle on the play as it did come out over the blue line. Stay tuned. Coming up in our first intermission, we'll go to the TSN Sports Desk with John Wells. I'll be along to talk with Team Sweden's Thomas Gradin, and then Roger Nielsen will be along with his analysis of this first period with USA leading by a score of 2-0. That's all coming your way in our first intermission.
Rod Langway might be the goaltender's best friend. He's blocked about 5 shots already in this game. He's a hard-working guy.
From the face-off, long shot. Borasso, a glove save, leaves it back behind his own goal. There is a minute, 53 seconds remaining here in the first period. Rod Langway, left defense. Trying to pass up through the center area. It was intercepted. And here is a whistle on the play with a penalty going to be assessed. And it's going to be handed out to Bob Brook, who sent Anders Hawkinson spinning. So Brook is going to get the gate. Here was that penalty, Donnie.
He gets a little bit of an elbow. Looks like a pretty clean shoulder there. The referee might have been a little bit of a different angle. Decided to call it, maybe a little fragrant.
USA penalty to number 13, Bob Cook. 2 minutes for elbowing.
Elbowing is the call. So now with 1:43 remaining, Team USA is going to be a man short. Trachier comes on to take the face-off, and he'll take the face-off against Gustafsson. Puck comes back. Trachier got the draw. It comes out to the center ice area, and it is recovered by Johnson. He drops it back to his own zone to Langway. Over on the right side off Trotier's stick, and forced back for it is Bo Eriksson. Bo Eriksson back behind Peter Lindmark. Now a pass. Coming out, working his way out is Eklund. Eklund still has it. In over the line, goes into the corner. Langway squeezes him out of the play. A loose puck. Naslund couldn't get a stick on it. And a whistle on the play, forcing a face-off to the left of Tom Barrasso with 1:10 remaining. There's Mike Ramsey.
Team Sweden would definitely like to go into the end of the first period with a 2-1, behind 2-1. And if they can go in with that, only behind by 1, it certainly gives them a lot of confidence coming up for the second period. And we look at, if they don't, then they've got to go in and they've got to think, geez, we're down 2, how do we get back in the hockey game?
Puck comes back to the point. Kent Nilsson. Here's a shot. It's weak. Nilsson a drive. And that went off the USA player. It bounces into the corner, and a quick whistle on the play, forcing yet another face-off in USA territory with less than a minute remaining.
Tom Barrasso's made some great saves so far. He's really kept the U.S. right there. He's maintained the lead, and that's very important.
Thomas Steen got the draw. It goes back off Chris Chelios, bouncing out to center. Poked back in over the USA line. Now it's driven back down to Team Sweden zone to the right of goaltender Lindmark. Shot back by Steen, back behind his own goal. Team Sweden having a little difficulty getting out of their own zone. Coming out now is Eldebrink. Eldebrink over to Steen. Comes back off the boards again as they try to regroup. Around for Eriksson. Eriksson leaves it, coming down and over the line. Here's a shot just wide of the mark. Good drive by Kent Nilsson. Taking his man out of the play was Thomas Steen, and the puck slides right back down to the stick of Lindmark, way out of his goal. Leaves it on the left side for Håkan Lube. Lube down, in over the line, starts to cut around, goes behind Barrasso. Looks, turns, goes back into the corner, back to the point, a drive, that went wide as the horn goes on a drive by Eriksson to end the first period.
Team Sweden certainly had the pressure there at the end. U.S. are lucky to come out with a 2-0 lead.
And so at the end of the first period, the USA leads Team Sweden by a score of 2-0 on Canada Cup 1984.
Звенит в ушах лихая музыка атаки. Точней отдай на клюшку пас, сильней удар.
И все в порядке, если только на площадке. Великолепная пятерка и вратарь. Суровый бой ведет ледовая дружина. Мы верим мужеству отчаянных парней. В хоккей играют настоящие мужчины. Трус не играет в хоккей. Трус не играет в хоккей.
At the end of the first period, Team USA leading Team Sweden by a score of 2-0. And with me, a member of Team Sweden, no stranger to NHL hockey action or playing for Team Sweden. This is Thomas Gradin. Thomas, the first period, of course, I was surprised. Very, very hard hitting, but good end-to-end action. Team Sweden not backing down a bit.
I think it was a good period for being the first period of the series. It's always a little bit tense the first couple of minutes, but after that was a pretty good game, I think.
What about the goaltending now? I thought Peter Lindmark came up with some big saves, but in one instance, of course, the defense didn't get back fast enough, and that's when Eddie Olachuk passed it over, and Peter Lindmark was beaten. But other than that, he has played very well for the first period.
Yeah, I think so. He's playing really good, and he has been doing that in the past too. So I think the other end, Tom Barrasso, will be coming up with a bigger saves.
All right, what about the players' attitude now? You're down by 2 goals after 1 period. I know that's a tough position to be in, particularly against the USA, who have a lot of young hockey players, Thomas.
Well, I think it's a simple solution, and that's not to give them any goals and try to score as many as we can.
You've had a lot of experience now in the National Hockey League. Has it made a difference so far in, say, attitude going into the game for Canada Cup '84? Certainly NHL experience is going to be very, very beneficial to all the players.
Well, I think so. We have the 80-game schedule, and I think that's going to show off as longer the tournament goes on.
All right, certainly you're not down. You got a long ways to go in Canada Cup '84, but I know that everyone is impressed so far by the team they put together for Team Sweden, and of course the very best of luck for the remainder. Now go get a little rest. You got a busy second period.
Thank you very much.
Thomas Gradin, USA leading by a score of 2-0 after 1 period. Stay tuned now. Coming up will be John Wells in the sports desk, and then that'll be followed by Roger Nielsen, his analysis of the first.
First game in the Canada Cup is underway in Halifax this afternoon. We'll get you back there for the second period just a few moments from now. 2-0 the United States leading Team Sweden. Roger Nielsen joins me at the TSN sports desk. How did you see the first period? Are you a little surprised or not?
I think the Swedes deserved a better fate, John. Actually, they played the way I thought the U.S. would play. They forechecked well. They locked the middle up. They kept the U.S. Down their end most of the time. And then the U.S. countered quickly for 2 goals, which is sort of, we expected the Swedes to do that. But the last 5 minutes, the U.S., up until a penalty, really came on. And we want to show you a few plays here, 2 in particular. One is a power play rush by the Swedes. And this is where they're at their best, in the open ice with a late man coming up. And here's the rush as it starts up. And I hope you saw Gradin just in the corner of the screen. Here he's going to come really late on the play. And now here he comes. And he catches the U.S. Standing still. And that's a tough play for a defenseman to stay up. And here's a player coming late. And the Swedes do that all the time. And the U.S. are going to have to watch for that play. The second play is the U.S. goal. And I guess right now we're still, here we go. And the second play is a goal by Carpenter.
Well, now, the Americans scored very quickly in the first period, Trachier's goal, and then they come back very late in the period. That demoralizing Sweden just a little bit, would you think?
Well, I'm sure it will.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's any question about that. The Swedes played a good period, and they're losing 2-0, and that's tough. However, they know if they get one more goal, they're right back in the game. Now,
you talked about speed on Team Sweden. Is that evident to you already, or not enough?
Well, you saw the speed on that clip we showed you on Gradin. But the Swedes they've got to keep doing the way they're playing. And I think they played a solid game. They got good goalkeeping when the U.S. did come down their end. And are we going to be able to see this goal by Carpenter?
I think we've got it coming up. We're trying to cue it up in the background. That's Rob Carpenter's goal. But defensively, as far as the Americans are concerned, that was one of their strengths. Does that show up in evidence in the first period?
I don't know that it did. I think the Americans were a little lucky to get out of there with the 2-0 lead. The Swedes had some excellent chances, and if anyone thought that Barrasso was going to have some problems in his sophomore year, they should be dispelled by his display, because he made about 4 key saves, and if he keeps playing that way, it's going to be tough for the Swedes to get back in the game.
We're ready for your Carpenter goal.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right, and this is a turnover at center, and a quick counter by the Americans. And here they are. They've really got a 3-on-3 coming down here. Goalkeeper Lindmark comes out, does his job, but right out here now, the Swedish backchecker is late, and Carpenter is able to put it in the net. And that failure of the Swedish backchecker to stay on his man after his goalkeeper made a big save could prove to be very costly for the Swedes.
Swedes unlucky, you say, in that first period. Is that, what can they do in the second period to get back into this? They have to score quickly, I'd say.
They don't have to score quickly, but they've got to score the next goal, even if it isn't until the third period. If they get the next goal, then they've got the U.S. back in their heels. If the U.S. score, I would say it's game over.
The American team, what impresses you most about it after one period of Canada Cup '84?
They tried to do what they have to do, I think, play a tough, aggressive game, and the Swedes didn't back down at all. But if they keep up a hard-hitting game, I think they've got a weight advantage on the fast but small Swedish forwards. And if they keep up that aggressive game, I think they're probably going to end up about 4-1, 4-2 winners.
You like working with this video, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Roger will be back with highlights after the second period in our second intermission. Canada Cup hockey continues on TSN.
And after one period of Canada Cup 84, the opening game, USA leads Team Sweden by a score of 2-0. Bryan Trottier opening the scoring early in the first period at the 25-second mark. And then Rob Carpenter pulled them into a 2-0 lead at 16:38 of the first period. In that first period, USA outshot Sweden 13-9. This was the goal by Bobby Carpenter, Donnie Edwards.
Ed Olachuk comes down the boards. He makes a good play. He lets a good hard shot go. It forces Peter Lindmark to come out and challenge him. He makes a good play in passing the puck cross, and there's Robbie Carpenter jolly on the spot right into an open net. But you got to admit, the Swedish players made a bad mistake. They didn't catch the second man coming back.
Well, the officials are now coming back on the ice. The teams are a little bit late, so we are going to be back right after we pause for this. There is USA's goaltender, Tom Barrasso. And, of course, Team USA going to rely heavily on that young man, along with defenseman Rod Langway, but he proved his worth in the first period. Don Edwards, exactly what should be the strategy now for Team Sweden going into the second period? They're down by 2 goals. An exhibition game against USA was a freewheeling, wide-open affair, but what are they going to have to do?
Well, I said earlier that Team Sweden was going to have to play good defense on both ends, and what I meant by that is when they're in the offensive zone and they don't have the puck, they've got to pick up the lanes. And on both goals, they didn't pick up the second man. And Team Sweden, when their defensemen are pinching, the wingers and the centermen got to make sure they're in position to retreat into the defensive zone. The thing they have to do in their end, they've got to move the puck out quickly out of their end. Their forwards have got to catch the Team US defense sleeping and hopefully be able to capitalize on 3-on-2s and 2-on-1s.
At the start of this period, Team USA is going to be a man short for 17 seconds. Bob Brook will be in the penalty box. He went off for elbowing. So Team Sweden will have the man advantage, and for this period, Team Sweden in the area to our right with Team USA in the area to our left. Ron Hewitt and Don Edwards in Halifax for the opening game of Canada Cup 84. The referee for this game is Yuri Karadin, and he was pretty strict in that first period, Don.
He certainly was. I think that has to do a little bit with the European style. I think with the North American style, with the elbowing, a little bit of the hooking, he's not quite aware of it, and he's let a little bit go.
Getting set now for the face-off as we start the second period. With some excellent hockey players on Team Sweden.
Team USA's first goal in the first period. Goal scored by Bryan Trottier.
I'm very curious to see whether Team Sweden talked about it in between periods. They've got to get the puck up on Tommy Barrasso.
Bryan Trottier will start at center for Team USA, and from the draw it comes back over the USA's blue line, back out to center, racing down now. This is Mark Johnson in over the line. Johnson tried it for Trottier. He was tied up. Bounces off the boards on the left side. Erickson racing out, shoots it back down to the Team USA zone. Barrasso drives it around the boards. Too far for Trachier. It is kept in by Gustafsson. Gustafsson shooting it back in over the line as they have difficulty trying to get out. Oh, and a heavy check thrown at the blue line. Bouncing back on the left side. This is Gord Roberts. Long pass, too far to Bob Brook. That penalty is up. USA at full strength. Now Team Sweden, this is Mats Naslund coming down all alone, squeezed out of the play by Housley, but got a shot away, and down to cover up was Tommy Barrasso. Play just underway, 19:10 remaining, second period. Both teams now make a change.
Well, Bryan Trottier, a born leader. When you talk about Stanley Cups, you've got to talk about Bryan Trottier. The Islanders, he's a big part of the machine. He's been a real leader with that hockey club. Bryan is very well respected throughout the whole National Hockey League.
This faceoff is going to go to the left of Barrasso. Taking the faceoff would be Neil Broughton. Broughton taking the face-off against Thomas Steen. The puck is dropped. Steen gets the draw. It goes into the corner. Mike Ramsey slides it back behind his own goal, around to the right side. Trying it out for the center ice area. Neil Broughton couldn't get to it in time. Coming back is Kent Nilsson, going into the corner along the boards with Eldebrink. Eldebrink squeezed it loose, and this is Kent Nilsson. Nilsson out to the center ice area, winds up, lets it go, hit the goal post. The rebound to the right to Thomas Steen. Comes to Neil Broughton. Broughton works his way out for the USA. Coming out to center ice, up in over the line to Eriksson. A shot, and that hit the goal post. Bounces off the boards, comes all the way back down, in over the line, dropping it back out in front to Thomas Steen. A shot, that went wide. Håkan Loob trying to center it. It goes back behind the net, over the glass, into the crowd, as it was cleared over the glass by Neil Broughton.
I think what the U.S. is doing here, they're complaining to the referee. They thought the puck went through the net. And these are the new magnetic nets that are going to be used in the National Hockey League this year. That shot seemed to go right through the net, and I don't know if the goal light went on or not.
Referee and both teams now coming back to check. And they're questioning.
Sometimes with new nets, Ron, the mesh doesn't seem to get tight, and I don't know if it's through moisture in the building or what, but the net seems to tighten up over a period of time. And sometimes what the NHL arena managers will do, they'll take them and soak them in water for a day or two and then put them on and let them dry, and it seems to let them shrink. And I don't know with these new nets if it's been done or not.
18-18 remaining. Second period, the face-off will go to the right of Tom Barrasso. Taking the face-off will be Pat Sundstrom for Team Sweden. Here's a look at that one they were questioning as they let it go.
It definitely did make the mesh move, and you can see Mike Ramsey moves in behind him along with Phil Housey with the sticks up. They think it's in.
Keeping it in now was Peter Anderson. Puck is loose. It bounces out to the center ice area. Racing over on the right side was Bob Brook. Brook right in front, drops it back into the corner. Spun around out of the play was Dave Christian. And the puck comes back to the center ice area. Mullen over to Langway. Langway forward pass for Tom Hirsch. Hirsch was stopped. Puck comes back inside the line. Out to the center ice area. This is Brook dropping it all the way back to the corner to the left of Barrasso. Off the boards where it's driven forward by Brian Mullen. Way out of his goal as Peter Lindmark shoots it forward up to Telvin. Telvin failed to get anywhere with it. Now it comes back. This is Pat Sundstrom. Sundstrom carries it up, in over the line, drops it back, and nearly a break for Thomas Gradine. Coming back up, in over the line, Brian Mullen leaves it in the corner, right in front, and checked from behind as Chelios tried to get a backhand away. Back to Langway, he fanned on the shot. Here is a break, coming down, in over the line, carrying it is Gustafsson, a shot, he scores!
Well, exactly what I said, Ron. The Swedes have got to capitalize on the 2-1. Unfortunately, Gustafsson gets in behind the defense. Rod Langway pinches in here, tries to make an offensive play. Fans on the slap shot. Quick pass. Gustafsson, away he goes. He's got Barrasso all at his mercy. Little fake, and ooh, it's by him.
Here's another look at that goal. Gustafsson scoring, putting Team Sweden on the scoreboard.
He just holds the puck, waits for Tommy Barrasso to make his move. Tommy gets a little deep in the net and pops it right in the bottom corner. .253, the time of the goal by Bengt Oak Gustafsson. Assisted by Bo Eriksson, and Team Sweden is on the scoreboard with 17:07 remaining here in the second period. Puck comes back. Bo Eriksson leaves it over on the right side for Mats Thelin. Thelin, a pass, bouncing in over the line. Barrasso cleared it, but not out. Carrying it down is Hawkinson, a shot. That went wide.
Off the corner, around to Eriksson. Eriksson fights for it. It slides out to the center ice area. Coming back is Olachuk. Olachuk shoots it down to the right of Peter Lindmark. Squeezed out of the play. The puck slides behind Lindmark. Right in front. Oh, a great save on Brian Lawton. Last second save by Lindmark. Just got his arm up in time. Team Sweden coming back again. Losing it at the USA blue line. Comes out over the line. Some ragged play now as the puck slides back on the left side as Mats Naslund tried to clear it. Going back for the puck was Sundstrom. Shot it out to center where it is recovered by Phil Housley. Housley driving it out to the center ice area. Mats Naslund now dumps it back into the USA zone. This is Mike Ramsey. Ramsey over on the left to Trachier. Trying a rink-wide pass for Joe Mullen. Failed to get to it in time. Mullen squeezed out of the play. Back behind his own goal is Eldebrink. Eldebrink failed to get it out. Now it's taken away by Håkan Loob. Skating in front of his own goal. Out to center. This is Eldebrink. Eldebrink in over the line with Steen. A shot. Borasso glove save and hangs on for the faceoff. And so the score in the second period, USA 2, Team Sweden 1. Faceoff will go to the left of Tom Borasso in USA territory. As we get set, the puck is dropped. Cleared back into the corner to the left of Borasso. Along the boards, comes back to the point. A drive by Eldebrink right in front. That hit a leg. Off the boards, right side. Over on the left wing, it comes out to David Jensen. Jensen's pass right in front. Lindmark down, covering up on the play.
Certainly, Ron, the Swedish goal certainly has given them some confidence. They seem to have opened up in the offensive zone. They seem to, defense want to hop in, take that little chance. And it's important because Peter Lindmark has made a big save just a few minutes ago. That means the Team Sweden, that keeps them in the game. Instead of going 3-1, it's still 2-1, and they're still only one behind.
The faceoff will take place to the right of goaltender Peter Lindmark.
One thing in this type of tournament, you don't want to give up soft goals.
Neil Broughton at center for Team USA to take this faceoff. The puck is dropped, comes back to Langway. Langway, a quick shot. That was knocked down by Lindmark. It goes loose. Out to the center ice area. Sundstrom couldn't handle it. Comes back down in over the line where Brian Eriksson was checked from behind. The puck goes loose. Back to Tom Hirsch. Shot it over to Langway behind his own goal. Team Sweden putting some pressure on now. In over the line was Pat Sundstrom. Over on the right side, it is cleared out by Tom Hirsch. Out to center, intercepted there by Thomas Gradin. Gradin coming down, in over the line, passes it back to Gradin, back behind Borasso, trying to tuck it in the short side, and it comes over on the right side. Eriksson, rink-wide pass, down, in over the line, carrying it there was Jensen, a shot! Lindmark down, and a good save. Lindmark, another big save, Don.
Yes, he stands up, he just waits. The puck comes in over the blue line. Good little play, defense start backing up. He's right on top, comes out and challenges, gets the pad spread, the puck is into him, controls the rebound. It's a tough play for a goalkeeper because the guy's trying to get it over top, you're trying to take away the whole part of the net, and if you can't get the whole net, at least the bottom two-thirds.
Face off to the right of Peter Lindmark to take the face off. Gustafsson, a draw back right on. Lindmark stick save on a drive by Chris Chelios from the blue line. There's another shot that went wide. Here's Chelios again letting it go. That went off a leg. Round over the far side, another shot. This one by Gordy Roberts. And Team Sweden now on the move out with Kent Nilsson. Nilsson down the right side, taken out of the play, and the puck is driven back. Here is a break, coming down, in over the line, coming right in front. Dave Christian a shot, and that was a big save again by Lindmark. Dave Christian in all alone. Back to Chelios, he couldn't handle it. Chelios forced back, being chased by Gustafsson. Chelios pulled down, the puck comes back to Roberts. All the way down, right onto the stick of Peter Lindmark. Drives it off the boards. Backhanded forward by Bo Eriksson. Out to center. Here's a long shot. That went wide. Nilsson let that one go. A screamer. This is Chelios, right defense. Chelios lobbed it forward, but not out. He was stopped. And now a bouncing puck comes back to Anders Eldebrink. Eldebrink passing over on the right side. Carrying it down in over the line as they race in a drive, and that hit a leg. Thomas Steen let a quick shot go, and USA clears it back down. Coming back to touch it. We'll have icing called against the USA as they lead by a score of 2-1. Face-off about to take place to the left of Tom Barrasso. As we get set, moving into place is Thomas Steen for Team Sweden. It comes back behind Barrasso. In the corner off the boards as Ramsey drives it out, and going back for it is Anders Eldebrink. Eldebrink passing it out to center where it's intercepted. Losing it at the line was Ed Olachuk. Loose puck at center where it's taken away by Kent Nilsson. In over the line, a shot went wide as Håkan Loob let it go. Bounces all the way back. Coming back for it is Thomas Eriksson. Eriksson lost it right in front. Oh, and Olachuk nearly had a break. Team Sweden coming out 3-on-2. Kent Nilsson up in over the line with Steen. A forward pass knocked down in front. Puck is loose. Oh, and just missing was Håkan Loob. Down the left side, USA comes storming back. Down in over the line, a pass in front, a backhand went wide. Good try by Phil Housley. Still in Team Sweden territory. Now starting out, Kent Nilsson down the right wing. Up in over the line, he's all alone, forced back out to the center ice area. Passing it over on the right side. Here is a drive right on by Telvin, and a glove save by Barrasso. As it comes all the way back down. A forward pass, right side. This is Sundstrom. Coming down on the right side. Pat Sundstrom checked out of the play. Quick shot right on. Barrasso makes the save. Rod Langway recovering for USA. Lobbed it high out to center ice, trying it for Trachier. Coming in off the boards. Michael Telvin. Shot it forward. Failing to get to it was Peter Sundstrom. It's driven back in over the line, and going back for it is Joe Mullen. But Team Sweden touches the puck first, and icing called against Team USA with 11:16 remaining. The USA in front by 1. Rod Langway, the anchor of the defense for Team USA.
Yes, he is, Ron. Just as Brian Murray sometime, how important Rod Langway is to that hockey club. When he was traded there from the Montreal Canadiens, it was the Washington Capitals' turning point in their career.
Another face-off to the left of Tom Barrasso. Trachier on the ice for Team USA. Gustafsson will take the face-off for Team Sweden. Players jump into the circle. So now to move in to take the face-off will be Pat Sundstrom. From the draw, puck is held in the face-off circle. It bounces off the boards where it goes to Mark Johnson, who shoots it back in over the blue line. Racing back forward was Joe Mullen. Mullen is checked from behind. Puck bounces back as Gustafsson comes up with the puck. Gustafsson overskated the puck momentarily, comes back, takes it off the boards in front of his own bench. It bounces back to Bo Eriksson and slides back in over the line. Peter Lindmark leaving it. Passing over on the left side to Bo Eriksson. Out to the center ice area. This is Naslund coming in all alone. Naslund drops it back. Comes down to the line, offside. As Mats Thelin was just outside, and sticks go up, and pushing erupts inside the Team USA blue line.
Well, that just shows that one of the things that Lee Bourque said, he was going to use the NHL Swedes a lot. And Thomas Gradin right in the middle of the action, standing up for his rights. And I'll tell you, as the tournament goes on, it's going to be important.
And so the score, Team USA leading Team Sweden by a score of 2-1 on Canada Cup 84. Neil Broughton will take the face-off with Thomas Steen outside the USA blue line. The puck is cleared back. Phil Housley, right defense, a pass to center, up to Broughton. Broughton in over the line, over to David Jensen. They score! Oh, great move!
A good play by the United States. They get the puck in the corner. The second man drives the net. He's in the slot. It's wide and right in the net. Back to the slot.
Pass. Brian Erickson was the man cutting in front of the net. Don, good play.
Right in the same spot between the legs, 5-hole for the goalie. Cardinal sin.
Brian Erickson, that play was started by Broughton in over the line, left it for David Jensen on the left side. Erickson skates right in front of the net, took the pass from Jensen and beat goaltender Peter Lindmark, and now the USA leads 3-1. From the faceoff, Broughton again. Over it goes to Jensen. Jensen dropping it back for Broughton. Bounces back to the defense. Here is a quick shot. That went wide. Mike Ramsey let that one go. Team Sweden coming back. Down the left side. Coming down and over the line with Gradin. Gradin dropping it back for Sundstrom. Pat Sundstrom failed to get a shot away. Bouncing down in over the boards. Sundstrom again. Peter Sundstrom let a quick shot go. A drive well wide of the mark. Racing in the corner. Peter Sundstrom fights for it along the boards. Coming in, Mike Ramsey tries to tie his man up. Pat Sundstrom now failed to move the puck. Gradin, sticks go up high. It goes back behind Borasso. And Team USA having some difficulty. Now players fall to the ice. And again, tempers are short. That time it was Phil Housley.
Peter Sundstrom, twin brother to Patrick Sundstrom of the Vancouver Canucks. 22 goals, 22 assists with the New York Rangers last year. A big part of Herb Brooks' operation.
9 minutes, 38 seconds remaining. We're in the second period in Halifax. And the USA is leading now by 2 goals, awaiting a face-off that will take place to the left of Tom Borasso. Dave Christian will take the face-off for Team USA. And Gustafsson moves in. He has scored the lone Team Sweden goal. And now, those players being waved out of the face-off circle. So we'll have 2 more give it a try. Coming in for Team Sweden, Mats Naslund, the draw. Shot goes wide. Chelios out of the right side for Bob Brook. Brook failed to get anywhere with it. A bouncing puck comes in over Team USA's blue line. Shot back behind the goal. Turning and coming out is Gordy Roberts. Roberts coming to center. Pass over on the right side. Brian Mullen right in front. He shoots. Oh! Saved by Lindmark from point blank. And a drive by Brian Mullen.
Brian Mullen comes off the boards. Good pass here.
Gordy Roberts, perfect pass to Mullen.
Right on the Brian Mullen stick. Moves in. Peter Lindmark standing up, waits for the shot, catches it, controls the rebound. Good play here. Good clean shot. Out on top of the crease where a goaltender should be. Good save. Good control of the rebound.
9 minutes, 13 seconds remaining. Second period face-off will go to the left of Lindmark. Players anxiously jumping into the face-off circle. Now from the draw, here is a quick shot. That went wide. Tommy Hirsch let that one go. Goes back behind the net. Team Sweden trying to get out. Kent Nielsen failed to get it. Here is a drive. That hit the post. Ed Olachuk let a quick wrist shot go. The one off the post to the right of Lindmark. Here is a long drive. That's well wide of the mark as Langway goes back for it. Rod Langway, a pass. Just a little too far for Rob Carpenter. Coming back for it is Eldebrink. Eldebrink trying to get it out. Langway almost fanned on that one, and it goes over to Håkan Lou. Lou in the corner to the right of Lindmark. Now starts out. Comes out to center ice. Long shot to the left of Borasso. Langway back for it. Leaving it to the left. Coming out is Mark Johnson. Johnson, a pass to center over to Tom Hirsch. Dropping it back for Joe Mullen. Couldn't get to it in time. Fighting for it behind the Team Sweden blue line. It comes out down the left side. Lube failed to click with the pass. Up on the left side, coming down and over the line is Joe Mullen. Mullen left it there. Spun around was Mark Johnson. Loose puck out in front. Stolen there by Thomas Gradine. Gradine down the right wing at center. In over the line. Squeezed out of the play. Driven off the boards by Housley, but not out. On the left side, and now it is fired out to center. Coming down is Ramsey. Ramsey in over the line. Stops, fakes a shot, lets it go. Hit a lay. Michael Telveen out to the center ice area. It is picked up there by Peter Sundstrom. He is stopped at the line. That pass was deflected off a leg as it comes back to Mike Ramsey. Ramsey tried it for Trachier, failed to get to it. Out to Peter Anderson. Anderson on the right side for Pat Sundstrom. Sundstrom shot. That went wide. Gordy Roberts off the boards. Over on the left side. Failing to get it out. Coming in and taking it away was Pat Sundstrom. Gord Roberts forced back behind Borasso. Over on the right side where it's taken by Brian Erickson. A pass off the left side for David Jensen, and Jensen was pulled down. There's going to be a hooking penalty. 6:53 the time remaining, and Team USA leads Team Sweden 3-1. Matt Stalin gets a hooking penalty at 13:07. Now Team USA will have the man advantage. Back to the point. Roberts over to Chelios. Chelios back into the corner, right back to Chris Chelios again. Feeds it for Broughton to Chelios. Back and forth they go. Chelios a drive. And that bounces off Mats Naslund right back to the USA blue line. Here is Chelios again. Pass went astray. Naslund ran into Chelios. Puck is loose. Chelios recovers. In over the line with Carpenter. Going back for it is Neil Broughton. Puck out in front. Gordy Roberts winds up. Lets it go. He scores! A power play goal.
Gordy Roberts makes a real good play here. Vince Oak Gustafson. Back goes across from Chris Chelios. Gordy Roberts moves in. Goes forward, goes down, steps aside, lets the shot go right in the bottom corner.
Gordy Roberts, a power play goal, has pulled Team USA in front by 3 goals.
Number 10, Gordy Roberts.
From the face-off at center ice. Puck off the board, shot back down. Going back for it is Eldebrink. Eldebrink is back behind his own goal. Gordy Roberts scoring on the power play. Rod Langway back behind his own blue line. Over on the right side to Tom Hirsch. Shot it forward where it's knocked back to center. Driven in over the line by Brian Mullen. In the corner to the left of goaltender Peter Lindmark. Puck bounces back again right in front. Failing to get a stick on it was Dave Christian. Keeping it in now is Brian Mullen. Mullen fakes a shot, looks, lets it go. Lindmark a stick save. Bouncing back into the corner. Comes off the boards. Around on the left side. Trying to get out was Kent Nilsson. It does come out to the center ice area. Flipping it forward was Thomas Steen. Now going back behind his own goal. Here's Tom Hirsch. Hirsch coming to USA's center ice line, and it is knocked back down. Up in over the line. Carrying it is Gustafsson. Gustafsson in front. Oh, and just missing on that was Eldebrink. What an opportunity. Driving it off the boards, it comes back to the Team Sweden zone. Back for it is Telveen. Off the boards, left side. Thomas Gradine. Gradine down in over the line with Sundstrom. Dropping it back to the blue line in the corner as they fight for it along the boards. Rod Langway lifts it high, and it slides all the way back down to the right of Peter Lindmark. And we have a whistle on the play. So we have 4:26 remaining, and Team USA is leading by a score of 4-1 on Canada Cup 84.
Typical of the European style. Come in, try and play tic-tac-toe. Defenseman goes down. Tommy Barrasso comes across, gets it with a stick and a glove. Good play. You've got to learn to shoot the puck.
Speaking of shooting the puck, a drive by Matt Stalin, saved by Bourassa, decides to hang on to force another face-off with 4:20 remaining here in the second period.
Phil Housley, member of the Buffalo Sabres, maybe one of the most exciting players in the National Hockey League. Scotty Bowman plays them about 40 minutes a game, and the guy does everything. Defense, offense. Whenever Buffalo gets in trouble, they move him up into center. Good hockey player.
Trachier will take the face-off to the left of Bourassa, and he'll face off against Gustafsson. It goes back behind Bourassa, around to the boards. Players crash into each other. Bouncing puck down to cover up was Joe Mullen, forcing a face-off to the right of Tom Bourassa with 4:10 remaining.
Very, very important here, Ron, for the Swedes not to lose their composure. They're behind 4-1. They're not out of it. They're still a full period and 4 minutes to play. They've got to get on the scoreboard, but they can't get impatient.
Phil Housley out to center ice. Going back for it, Mullen. Joe Mullen lost it. And a delayed whistle. So the face-off will come outside of Sweden's blue line. And both teams now elect to make changes. At center will be Neil Broughton.
Bob Johnson did a great job with this U.S. team. He's had 11 centers, and he's had to move some of them on the wings to play, take the right and left spots. And it's pretty tough after a player has played one position his entire life, and all of a sudden he's got to play another position.
Thomas Steen, it's back to center. Gordy Roberts drives it down to Team Sweden territory. It bounces, but not out. They try to force it out. Neil Broughton tying his man up along the boards, and forced to go back is Eldebrink. Eldebrink trying a long pass up through the center, way too far. Racing back for it is Roberts. He touches it, and there'll be icing call. With 3:34 remaining coming up in our second intermission, we'll go to the TSN Sports Desk. Standing by is John Wells, and then happy to have along Bruce Hood, retired NHL referee, and we'll have an analysis of the second period and some highlights from Bruce, and he perhaps is going to take a different view of it from a referee's point of view.
It certainly should be interesting.
Yes, it is. Face-off will go to the left of Peter Lindmark. And from the draw, the puck goes backward, is taken by Kent Nilsson. Nilsson leaves it now for Eldebrink. Eldebrink starting out for Team Sweden. He leaves it. Going back for it is Thomas Eriksson. Eriksson down the right side. Up over the line. Tried to leave it there, but he was checked. Puck comes bouncing back, though, to Eldebrink. Eldebrink into the corner, and a pass went right onto the stick of David Jensen. Jensen's pass on the right side for Eriksson. He is stopped. And now here's Thomas Steen in over the line. A shot that was deflected by Roberts. Bounces off the glass. Players collide in the corner to the left of Bourassa. Puck squirts loose back to Gordy Roberts, back behind his own goal. This is Roberts starting out with Chelios. Chelios turns behind his own blue line. Leaves it again for Roberts. Over to Jensen. Jensen stopped at center. Recovered in over the line. Offside, Team Sweden. Two minutes, 25 seconds remain in the second period. Ron Hewitt and Don Edwards in Halifax, game number 1 of Canada Cup 84. Offside against Team USA.
Dave Christian traded from the Winnipeg Jets to the Washington Capitals a year and a half ago. Dave was with the 80 U.S. Olympic team, winning the gold medal. Plays different positions to leave him moving back and let him play defense.
From the face-off, loose puck at center, driven down over the line by Brian Mullen. Back for it is Peter Anderson. Anderson being tied up by Dave Christian. Puck is still in Team Sweden territory, looking to center out in front. Back to Langway, a shot! Saved by Lindmark. Back into the corner, to the right. Pat Sundstrom, long pass. Goes all the way back as Langway goes back for it, back behind his own goal. Rod Langway off the boards. Eriksson is there for Team Sweden. Taking it away was Pat Sundstrom. Back to Eriksson. Now here's a 3-on-2 on the right side. Coming out was Bob Brook. Back it goes. Brook recovers. Dropped it back right onto the stick of Pat Sundstrom. Sundstrom pass over on the right side to Gustafsson. Back behind, Borasso. Mats Naslund with the puck, lost it. It is driven back behind Borasso again, off the boards. Back into the corner, a bouncing puck. Trying to work his way around in front. Oh, and just trying to poke it was Peter Sundstrom, but Borasso covered up on the play. Coming in again is Peter Sundstrom. The puck is held, forcing a face-off as sticks go up high to the left of Tom Borasso with just over a minute remaining.
Swede player comes around the net, tries to tuck it in the short side. Tom Borasso is lucky to get it with his skate. Puck goes up in the air, in behind him. It's a wonder it didn't hit Bob Brooks and go into the net, Ron.
We've just got over a minute remaining here in the second period, and the USA in front by 3 goals over Team Sweden, awaiting a face-off to the left of Tom Borasso. Gustafsson got the draw. It goes back behind Borasso. Gordy Roberts clearing it, but not out. Now it goes to the right side. Trachier carrying it down, in over the line, starts to cut in, drops it out in front, and failing to click was Rob Carpenter. Carpenter goes into the corner to the left of Lindmark. Gets it back. It is driven in over the line by Housley. Back behind goaltender Lindmark again as Rob Carpenter does some digging. Back into the corner along the boards. No whistle on the play. It is shot back behind Lindmark. Over on the right side, kept in by Rob Carpenter. Team Sweden having some difficulty now getting out. Now regrouping and starting out. This is Kent Nilsson carrying it to center ice. Nilsson at the line, drops it back, and failing to click was Sundstrom. Puck is loose along the boards as the horn goes. And that's it for 2 periods of play with Sweden down by 3. Donnie?
Well, Team Sweden goes into the intermission behind 4-1. They have to really be questioning themselves. How do they beat Tommy Borasso? They definitely have to get more opportunities, but they can't open up, because if they do, U.S. is going to pay off on it, and all of a sudden it's going to be 5-1, 6-1. So they have to go in and get their composure back, try and pay off on the opportunities they're going to get in the third period.
Good hockey as we have 2 periods gone by already, and the score, USA 4, Sweden 1 on Canada Cup 84.
Former NHL referee Bruce Hood is part of our Canada Cup telecast team. Bruce, we talked earlier just a little bit about the pressures of refereeing international hockey. And can you relate to the Soviet referee out there today from your experience in the past 2 Canada Cups?
Oh, I sure can. Well, Yuri is a veteran official, and he's been through this a lot before, both here in Canada Cup and in the many tournaments in Europe. And so for him, it's a routine type of game. People watching the game, they see it in a little different situation, because European officials handle different to the way we do it here in North America. First of all, they don't skate as well, so they're not in a position to see everything as well as our people.
You guys are better skaters than the Russians? Is that what you're telling me?
The officials are, let me put it that way.
All right.
And so he has pretty good judgment and calls it, well, the things that he sees, but there's a lot of things that he doesn't see as well as he might, and I don't want to criticize him, but...
well, now you see, now you're retired, you can take a couple of shots if you want.
Well, the type of play out there, there's a lot of high sticking, elbowing, cross-checking penalties, which are the type of penalties that they use to establish supremacy in a game, and U.S. did that early in the game with the Swedes, and the Swedes, they stuck in there, and so it eliminated a lot of that. A lot of pushing and shoving, but they know that if they take penalties, as we saw just a little while ago, there was a goal scored on a power play. They can't take foolish penalties.
Something about international hockey. Everybody remembers the power play goals, and it's not that noticeable in the National Hockey League during the regular season, but everybody seems to remember a power play goal.
Yes, that's true. There's a lot of power play goals even in the National Hockey League. I don't know, people seem to get on the edge of their seat because they anticipate a goal being scored more. So they're prepared for it. They can describe it better. The ordinary game is going on, going up and down. All of a sudden there's a goal scored, and a lot of people are saying, well, gee, how was that scored? You know, And even for the referee, he's more prepared when it's a power play situation, watching to make sure. We had a goal, or I believe, in the way I saw it anyway.
You said one went through the net.
It looked to me as if the puck had gone through the net. The net bulged, and from that angle, there wasn't any other way it could have bulged. Really, with a 4-1 hockey game, it's not important, I guess, but you wonder how important it might have been.
Are you enjoying just sitting back and watching this on television, or would you like to be out there?
I'd love to be out there. It's a great place to be, let me tell you.
Is it too late for you to come out of retirement?
Well, maybe with the old-timers.
Okay, Bruce Hood will be part of our Canada Cup telecast team here on TSN as we continue. All right, Roger Nielsen is up next with second period highlights here with the Sports Network, TSN. After 2 periods in Halifax, the United States leading Sweden 4-3. Roger Nielsen joins me once more, and what did you think of that period? Sweden's got a quick start there. We thought we might have a little better hockey game.
It was an excellent period, though. A lot of great offensive plays. The play went up and down. The goalkeeping was really good. I think everybody got their money's worth that period. You're right. The Swedes,
Gustafsson
tough
gets
again.
that goal.
Well, they had a great start, and they got a 3-on-1. I think it was Mike Ramsey that dove and made a great play, and then Ron Langley made a bad play. He tried to one-time a pass when he was under a little pressure, and if you remember, Gustafsson broke away for the goal. But from then on, it was all U.S.
What do you want to show us?
Well, we're going to show you a 3-on-2 goal by the United States, and this is a good one for kids watching who want to play. Here's Broughton, and watch him make the pass, and then he goes for the net. Now, when he goes for the net, he has to be covered, and here is the open man. And, of course, the puck was in the net, and I believe that was Eriksson that came up on the play. And there are two things there. First of all, the guy who makes the pass has to go to the net and draw the defense. And then if the defenseman is alert enough to jump up on the play as well, well, you're in business, because the back checkers are usually looking to cover wingers. And it was a very alert play by the U.S. They did it perfectly.
Are you saying the Swedes are victims of tough luck, or are they just not taking advantage of their opportunities? Is it all bad breaks for Sweden so far?
Well, early in the period, they had a 3-on-1, and as usual, I think Donnie Edwards commented on it, they make too many passes instead of getting the shot away. And late in the period, they did the same thing again. 3 little passes, and it's not good percentage hockey. You got to shoot and go for rebounds. The U.S. did that, and they scored. The Swedes didn't.
U.S. power play goal, that's another.
Yeah, let's look at it. This was, again, a very good shot by Gordy Roberts, but the Swedes didn't play it well either. They were, States, of course, are good pressure here, and the puck comes back to Roberts' end. There are 2 things that were wrong on that play from the Swedish viewpoint. First of all, the points were wide open, and secondly, the defender went down, and it's tough to go down and block a shot. I was hoping we'd get a replay here, and you also see a good screen in front of the net. But they were well-executed goals, and here it is here. The defender goes down, and perfect screen in front of the net as well. And they're good goals by the U.S., and I don't think now that the Swedes have much of a chance. They've had quick starts both periods, but the U.S. come out strongly. It's going to be a 5-1 game.
5-1 is what you're saying. All right, thanks to Roger Nielsen. We're ready almost for third period action in Halifax. This is the Canada Cup on TSN.
After 2 periods, Team USA leading Team Sweden 4-1 in the opening game of Canada Cup 84. In that second period, Sweden got on the scoreboard. Gustafsson scored at 2:53, but then it was all USA. Eriksson tallying at 9:31, and then Gordy Roberts at 13:46. Roberts was on a power play. Shots on goal in the second period, USA outshooting Sweden 11-8. So the total for 2 periods, USA 24, Sweden 17. This was the Gordy Roberts goal. Don?
Chris Chelios passes the puck across. Gordy Roberts makes a good play. The forward goes down, fakes, goaltender gets screened, it's in the bottom corner. That's what a good defenseman will do. He'll step in and make the play happen.
Power play goal scored by Gordy Roberts, pulling the USA in front 4-1. The officials are back on the ice. A little delay before the arrival of both teams, so let's take time for this. Team Sweden on the ice. They are down by 3 goals, but certainly Their spirit is still good because they know they still have the opportunity of coming back. They have the firepower to do it. Their work, though, could be cut out for them thanks to the tremendous goaltending, as we called it early and as everyone knew they would get, they being Team USA from young Tom Barrasso.
Tom Barrasso has really come up with a big save at the right time, and it certainly gives the whole team confidence. When you see the goalie sitting back there, he's playing within his own game. He's making a big save, and it certainly helps you because you can open up a little bit, because it just gives the team that little bit extra confidence.
Well, tremendous improvement in Team USA, Don, since the original Canada Cup in 1976, and you've seen them grow. And now, of course, even though they are young hockey players, they have so much world championship experience, particularly members of the USA team with Olympic experience.
That's certainly true, Ron, especially when they lost due to injury. They lost Chris Nyland due to a knee. They lost Mike Eves to a shoulder separation. Plus Mark Howell, Mike O'Connell, and Kenny Morrow all couldn't make the team due to injuries. So here we are with guys off the 80 Olympic team and the 84 Olympic team, plus experienced NHLers, and they've certainly put a good hockey club together.
And the loss of Pat LaFontaine was a big blow to Team USA. They were counting on that young man to score.
Well, certainly Pat was a big part of the 84 Olympic team, and Bob Johnson was very sorry to lose him the other day due to a knee injury.
The referee, Yuri Karadin, going to the center ice area. Bryan Trottier will start with the face-off for Team USA. Team USA in the area to my right and Team Sweden in the area to my left. And now we are all set to go. Per-Erik Eklund will face off for Team Sweden against Trachier. Trachier gets the draw, and it comes back to Gordie Roberts, left defense. Shoots it all the way down to the Team Sweden zone. Failing to get to it was Joe Mullen for Team USA. In along the boards as they try to tie it up was Mats Naslund. And now the puck bounces back down to the USA zone. Coming back for it, defenseman Chris Chelios. Chelios passes for Trachier. Trotier's pass was knocked down by Gustafsson, and it bounces at center ice. Trachier let a high pass go, and it was knocked forward with a high stick, so we have a whistle on the play with play just underway here in the third period, 19:26 remaining. Team Sweden down by 3 goals.
Leif Borg, head coach of the Swedish national team, very concerned individual right now. His team's down 4-1. What could he be telling him? He's definitely got to get some offensive punch, but he can't open up. It's a tough job as a coach. You've got to build confidence in your players.
The face-off, this is Eldebrink. Eldebrink carrying it up to the line. Couldn't get a pass over to Thomas Steen, and it bounces off the boards. Cleared out to center ice. Shooting it down over the line. Racing back for it, Neil Broughton. Neil Broughton takes his man out of the play, and we have a whistle on the play for an icing call. Face-off will come back to the USA zone. Neil Broughton plays his NHL hockey for the Minnesota North Stars. His brother is with the team, but has yet to see action tonight.
Well, after the injury to Pat LaFontaine, they brought back Neil's brother Aaron, and I'm sure he's quite happy to be back with the team.
Thomas Steen will face off for Team Sweden to the left of Barrasso. It comes bouncing back for Mike Ramsey, back behind his own goal. This is Ramsey passing on the right side. It failed to click, and back it comes to Ramsey again. This time a pass out to David Jensen. Jensen carries it down in over the line, leaves it for Broughton, recovered off the boards, and he was checked. Thomas Eriksson, a forward pass out to center, back to Håkan Lube. Lube lost it. A drive saved by Barrasso on a drive by Eldebrink from the blue line. Here's another one. That's high over the head. Comes bouncing around again. Eriksson keeps it in. Loose puck at center. Recovered by Thomas Eriksson. Eriksson passing it down in over the line as Kent Nilsson turns. Nilsson lets it go right on, and Barrasso covers up on the play.
Well, the Swedes certainly have got a little bit of offensive punch in that last shift. The thing about it, they've got to go to the front of the net. They've got to screen Tommy Barrasso. Shots from the outside. Barrasso sees everything. Kent Nilsson makes a real good play here. Goes back, shot, goes back to the defenseman. Barrasso stops it. Away he goes. Plays dead. They got to make more of a concentrated effort at the front of the net.
They seem to be shooting from anywhere now. They must have had instructions to shoot on the net every time you get the puck. Over on the right side, this is Bob Brook. And it was offside as the puck came out over the center ice red line. 18-12 remaining. Face-off will go to the right of Tommy Barrasso. Gerard Gauthier, the linesman, to handle the face-off duties. And now, coming over the boards to take the face-off is Dave Christian.
I think you'll see Leif Bork, the Swedish coach, go to more of the Swedish NHLers this period for the experience.
Pat Sundstrom facing off for Team Sweden. Whistle as players move back out of the face-off circle. Getting set, the puck is finally dropped. Here is a drive right on. And that was shot from the point by Peter Anderson. Puck is down and over Team Sweden's blue line. Shot down the right side. Coming off the boards, it bounces. Rod Langway takes it back behind his own blue line, gets it out to the center ice area, and it's driven over the line by Brian Mullen playing the left wing. Shot right back down to the USA zone, and going back for it is Gordie Roberts coming on the ice. Roberts turns, goes into the corner, starts out, passes out to center. Good pass right onto the stick of Dave Christian. He turned and lost it. Thomas Gradine back behind his own blue line, out to center ice, picking up speed, coming down in over the line, centered it, no one was there. The puck bounces, shot wide by Peter Sundstrom. Team Sweden keeping it in. Sundstrom along the boards. It was stolen to the right of Barrasso along the boards, and failing to get a clear shot away was Gradine. Puck bouncing in the USA zone again. Taking it off the boards was Gradine. He's tied up. Gordie Roberts stole the puck, goes back behind his own goal. USA trying to get out. Here is a drive. Glove saved by Barrasso and a shot by Bo Eriksson. The USA is leading Team Sweden by a score of 4-1 on Canada Cup 84. Gustafsson to take the face-off against Bryan Trottier to the right of goaltender Tom Barrasso in the USA zone. 16:57 remaining, third period. Game 1 of Canada Cup 84. Up to the right of Barrasso along the boards, trying to clear it out was Rob Carpenter, failed to do so. Back behind the net, Gustafsson tried to center it. He was tied up, and Trachier, a pass to center, knocked down. It is recovered, though, by Rob Carpenter, back behind his own blue line. This is Carpenter at center. He is stopped by Eldebrink. Eldebrink lost it. A pass on the right side was too far for Carpenter. It was shot forward by Mats Naslund. Now it's at center ice. Turning in the center ice area was Eklund. Eklund now leaving it for Eriksson. Thomas Eriksson in over the line. A shot that was blocked by Phil Housley. Housley, a rink-wide pass on the right side. A bouncing pass. They lost it. Housley flipped it down to the Team Sweden zone. And turning is Peter Anderson. Anderson passing out on the left side. Knocked down at center ice by Trachier. Puck is fired down to the Team Sweden zone. Going back into the corner along the boards. Pulled down. And we have a whistle with 15:43 remaining. Team USA leads by 3 goals. Team USA 4, Team Sweden 1. Kent Nielsen to take the face-off. He gets the draw to the right of Barrasso. It's off the boards. Coming out is Mark Johnson. Johnson passing it up to Joe Mullen. Mullen coming in front of the net. Centers it back. They score! Trachier!
What a great play. Bryan Trottier jumping on the spot in front of the net. Pops it in. Gives us a 5-1 lead.
Bryan Trottier, his second goal.
Just a super play there. Joe Mullen drives in behind net. Bryan Trottier drives in past the defenseman in the net. Here's the goaltender's view. Joey Mullen drives past the defenseman. Bryan Trottier beats his man. It's in the net. The Swedes are behind the 8 ball now.
4:28, the time of the goal. Bryan Trottier's second goal of this game. Coming over the line, here's Trachier again. A shot, a save, stick save by Lindmark. Bouncing puck into the corner. Mark Johnson holding it, and a whistle on the play. Bryan Trottier, what a career he's had in the National Hockey League. If I was starting a hockey team today, he'd be my first choice. Good two-way player. 100% effort every game.
Al Arbor sure uses him a lot. He's sure effective with the right winger in the Islanders, Mike Bossy. They certainly are great on 2-on-1s. It seems like Trachier all the time is the big spark behind that team.
15 minutes, 17 seconds remaining. 5-1 now. Team USA over Team Sweden. Puck is back behind goaltender Peter Lindmark. Coming out now, this is Telvin. Telvin a pass to Pat Sundstrom. Sundstrom stopped at the line. Back it goes to Telvin. A shot, Barrasso save.
It almost seems like now the Swedes are sitting back and they're just sort of waiting for the U.S. to come at them, and hopefully they can counterattack. And the Swedes somehow just got to get more offensive punch.
Well, the backup goaltender. You've been in games with him, Donnie.
Chico Resch is maybe one of the best liked guys in the National Hockey League. Just a super guy. I know he's really looking forward to playing in this series.
Face off to the right of Barrasso. Getting set for the draw. Neil Broughton got it back behind his own goal. Trying to get out now is Chris Chelios. Chelios, a pass to Jensen, left side. Jensen comes to center ice, picks up speed in over the line. Backhands it down into the corner to the left of Peter Lindmark. Team Sweden recovers, comes back out. This is Mats Naslund coming all alone, and here's an interference call. .37 remaining. Here's the penalty.
Peter Strundstrom, I'm not sure if he took a little dive or not. Soviet referee was following up on the play and put up his arm and called it. Hopefully this is a little break for the Swedish team, and maybe they can get right back in the game here.
Neil Broughton will get the gate, and now Team Sweden will have the man advantage. Interference the call. 14:37 remaining. Third period of opening game of Canada Cup '84.
I'm sure a big concern of Bob Johnson is to make sure he's got fresh players on the ice all the time, because the first thing you do when you get tired, you start hooking and grabbing.
Going back for the puck, this is Thomas Eriksson. Eriksson back behind his own goal. Now Thomas Eriksson passing over on the right side. A little too far for Thomas Steen. He tried to recover. Håkan Loob grabbed it at the blue line. Got it back again for Thomas Eriksson. Eriksson over to Eldebrink. Back to Eldebrink again as they try to draw a check. And it's intercepted. And coming out, this is Rob Carpenter. Got it to center. He lost it. And taking it back again is Thomas Eriksson. Kent Nilsson goes back behind his own blue line. Gets it out to Thomas Eriksson again. Dropping it back. Eldebrink carrying it up to the line. Goes into the corner with it. Taken out of the play by Mike Ramsey. They fight for it in there to the left of Barrasso. Rod Langway in front of his own goal. It comes bouncing back to the point again. In along the boards. Again, they try to set up the box right in front. Oh, and Barrasso robbed Kent Nilsson point blank as Nilsson tried to draw him out of the net. And now there's 53 seconds remaining in the penalty for Neil Broughton.
You certainly talk about the quickness in which the Swedes pass the puck. Håkan Loob makes a good pass to Kent Nilsson, and Tommy Barrasso makes a good play because as soon as Nilsson gets it, he's on top of him, and Nilsson doesn't have any room to move the puck.
Face-off about to take place to the left of goaltender Tom Barrasso. On the ice for the face-off is Pat Sundstrom for Team Sweden facing Bryan Trottier.
The U.S. has certainly been effective tonight in keeping the Swedes out in front of the net, so Tommy Barrasso can see all the shots.
Gordy Roberts off the boards, comes back to center, coming back for it. Michael Telvin. He lost it, taken away by Mark Johnson all by himself, shoots it. Peter Anderson recovering for Team Sweden, goes back behind his own goal. This is Peter Anderson, a pass right side for Pat Sundstrom. Pat Sundstrom comes to the USA line, and he's pulled down, and a penalty is going to be handed to Gordy Roberts.
Gordy Roberts almost seems like frustration. He just seemed to, as Patrick Sundstrom pulled across the blue line there, he just seemed to reach out a stick and give him a little bit of a high hook. And now with the U.S. being down 2 men, hopefully the Swedes can be back in. I know they're really, if anything lifts their spirits, this might do it.
two-man advantage as Gord Roberts now gets the gate. 27 seconds remain in the earlier penalty. They're showing a double minor right now.
Well, maybe the Soviet referee understands a little bit of English. Maybe Gordy Roberts got a little carried away with his language there, and the referee just decided to call a little extra. I know Bob Johnson in Calgary, if our team does that, he's quite concerned. So I'm sure even with a 5-1 lead, it's got to be a little upsetting to him.
2 minutes for hooking, 2 minutes to slash. Well, if ever Team Sweden was going to make a move, this is it with 13:04 remaining. However, they've got to make a long move. They're down by 4 goals. 2-goal performance by Bryan Trottier. That's where the scoring power is going to come from for Team USA. Face off inside the USA line. Coming back for it is Peter Anderson. He left it in front of his own goal. Here's a pass up on the right side. Coming down in over the line is Peter Sundstrom. Sundstrom dumped it into the corner. Back behind his own goal goes Mike Ramsey. Team Sweden fighting to keep it in. It's in along the boards. Mike Ramsey knocked his man down to the ice. Here's Rod Langway. Now the penalty is up to Neil Broughton. Puck is back behind goaltender Peter Lindmark. Passing over on the left side. Team Sweden has the man advantage. A double minor handed out to Gordy Roberts. Coming down in over the line. Mats Naslund standing in front of the net. Failed to reach the puck. Comes back off the boards. Pat Sundstrom took his man out of the play. And now Peter Anderson again. Couldn't get a shot away. Look at Rod Langway all over the ice. Comes around the corner in front. Banning on the shot was Michael Telveen. Now turning is Peter Sundstrom. Sundstrom, a pass right side for Eklund. Eklund at center ice, down the left side. Coming down, in over the line. Leaving it there for Mats Naslund. Naslund goes into the corner. He is tied up by Chris Chelios. They fight to hold it along the boards. The puck goes loose. Bourassa now leaving it for Tom Hirsch. Hirsch driving it back down to Team Sweden territory. There's 2 minutes, 25 seconds remaining in that double minor. There's a pass at center. Mats Naslund. Naslund off the boards. No one was there. Tom Hirsch recovers and dumps it back down to the Team Sweden zone. It is shot off the boards. Coming out to the center ice area, Bo Eriksson carries the puck to center. Dropping it back. Kent Nilsson. He was spun around. Eriksson fights for it. Along the boards again. Here is a shot. Bourassa makes the save and a drive by Mats Naslund. Comes back to the point. In again. Back again it goes. This time a shot by Eriksson went wide and it's driven down the ice.
We can't give enough credit to the U.S. defense for Rod Langway and Mike Ramsey. They certainly have done a great job during this penalty.
Over on the left side, coming out now is Bo Eriksson. Eriksson was stopped. Now he's forced back behind his own blue line. Bo Eriksson, a pass to Thomas Steen. Steen tried it rink wide for Håkan Loob. Couldn't get to it in time. There's over a minute remaining in the penalty. USA killing off this double minor. Brian Lawton now shot it back down once again inside Team Sweden's blue line. Team Sweden having difficulty mounting an offensive attack. Coming out to center now. This is Eldebrink. Eldebrink simply dumped it back into the corner. Going back in for it. Kent Nilsson failed to get to it, and it's shot down the ice again. There's 44 seconds remaining in the penalty. 9:47 remaining in the game. Team USA in front by 4 goals. The score is 5-1. A pass over on the left side. Failing to get away was Eklund. Puck back at center ice. This time it's Peter Anderson's shot. Back behind Tom Bourassa. Off the board. Coming down the right side out to center. This is Mullen. A shot! And that went off the goal stick. Puck back into the corner. Coming out now is Telveen. Telveen out to center. to Nilsson. Nilsson at center ice, gets it up to the line, flips it in over the line, and the penalty is up. Team Sweden did not score while they had the advantage of a double minor penalty. The score 5-1. USA leads on Canada Cup 84. The face-off will come outside of the U.S. blue line. Taking the face-off is Brian Lawton against Pat Sundstrom, and from the draw back it goes to the right side. Telvin, he is spun around on the boards in front of the USA bench, fighting for it along the boards. It comes up to Sundstrom, carrying it over the line. This is Peter Sundstrom, leaving it along with Pat Sundstrom, and the puck goes back into the corner. Thomas Gradine carries it. He is checked. The puck goes loose to Gordy Roberts. Roberts off the boards, bounces. Lawton overskated the puck, and a whistle on the play. Well, a penalty is being handed out to Michael Telvin for roughing on Team Sweden, so now USA has the man advantage. Chelios, forward pass to Trachier. Trachier backhanding it down, back behind goaltender Peter Lindmark, into the corner to his right. Gordy Roberts keeps it in. They fight for it along the boards. Coming up with it is Bo Eriksson. Eriksson, a pass on the right side to Mats Naslund, coming right in front. He shoots. Oh! Just missed the open corner. Coming out now is Chelios. Chelios, a long pass. Too far. Joe Mullen couldn't get to it. Dumped out to center, down in over the line, and coming back for it slowly is Gordy Roberts. Team USA has the man advantage for another 1 minute and 15 seconds. Trachier tried to hit Joe Mullen with a pass too high. It's driven off the boards, but not out. Gordy Roberts keeps it in. Roberts along the boards, lost it, and it's shot back down to the USA zone. Going back for it is Chris Chelios. Chelios over to Langway. Langway tried to clear it out. It goes to Neil Broughton, and Broughton leaves it there as Brian Eriksson starts out. He was stopped. Langway recovers, took it away from Håkan Loob. Comes back behind the USA goal. Over to Eriksson. Eriksson, a pass out to center. Rob Carpenter couldn't control it. There's 32 seconds remaining in the penalty. We've got 7 minutes remaining in the third period. The opening game of Canada Cup 84. At center, Håkan Loob takes it back behind his own blue line, leaves it over on the right side. Thomas Eriksson. Eriksson lost it. Dave Christian fakes a shot, tried to pass, taken off the boards. Rob Carpenter couldn't get a stick on it. It comes back to Phil Housley. A shot and a save from point blank range. Another shot, and it's cleared down the ice. Penalty is up. USA did not score while they had the man advantage. Puck comes back to the center ice area. This is Rod Langway. Left defense. Forward pass. Down in over the line for Tom Hirsch. A shot that went wide. Bouncing around the boards. Brian Mullen drives it back behind goaltender Peter Lindmark. Still out to center ice now. Here is a break coming down in over the line. This is Peter Sundstrom. Sundstrom drops it back to Pat Sundstrom. A shot. It was weak and wide. Out to center ice. At center, turning, is Pat Sundstrom. Rink-wide pass. Phil Housley back behind his own blue line. Got it to center. Peter Sundstrom knocks it back down again. Up in over the blue line. He leaves it there for Mats Thelin. Mats Thelin has it in his own zone. Thelin is stopped. Here's a drive. They score! What a shot! As the puck was stolen, and Brian Lawton was standing right in front. Good move as Team Sweden very sloppily trying to get the puck out of their own zone. Donnie, here it is.
Well, Ed Olachuk does some aggressive forechecking along with Bobby Brooks, and it's just one of those things when you're aggressive, you force the defenseman to cough up the puck, and Swedes just can't afford to do that. And I feel a little sorry for Peter Lindmark because he's made some real big saves during the game.
5:31 remaining in the hockey game. A 6-1 lead now. Two-goal performance by Bryan Trottier, and now Brian Lawton has scored the last goal. USA on the move again. Right side, Joe Mullen. Now he goes back behind his own blue line. Over to Gordy Roberts. Forward for Trachier. Puck went loose. Back to center. Rink-wide pass. Going back for it is Bo Eriksson. Eriksson goes back into the corner to the left of goaltender Peter Lindmark. Now out in front of their own goal. Starting out, this is Bo Eriksson. Eriksson a pass over on the left side, coming down, in over the line, taking it into the corner is Peter Sundstrom. Out in front, a shot just went wide. Eklund let that one go. Again, this is Mats Thelin. Thelin, it slides back behind Borasso. Out in front, Mark Johnson starts out to Trachier. Trachier a race for it with Bo Eriksson. Trachier tried to clear it in front. Taken out of the play by Eriksson. The puck goes loose. Here is a shot. That went wide. Tom Hirsch, a quick shot. Back to Rod Langway. Langway, a quick shot. Down to cover up is Peter Lindmark. And so, USA leading Team Sweden 6-1 on Canada Cup 1984. Face-off to the right of goaltender Peter Lindmark. Driven behind the net by Thomas Eriksson. It slides. Langway goes back for it. Flips it forward out to Tom Hirsch at center ice, carrying it over the line. Team Sweden caught offside. 4:13. And there you have a look at Anders Håkansson,
member of the Los Angeles Kings. Very well respected hockey player, hard worker, great condition, really works hard, and Los Angeles needs players like that.
Well, USA certainly has dominated from midway through the second period, and as you pointed out, Don Edwards, Sweden seemed to sit back and wait for USA to come to them, and you just simply cannot do that.
Well, you got to give Bob Johnson credit too. He's designed a good game plan, and the whole thing is capitalize on the Swedes' mistakes. And when the Swedes got behind early, they seemed to keep their composure, and then when they got behind by two, for some reason they just seemed to lose it. Maybe it was a frustration not being able to beat Tommy Barrasso. Maybe he's come up with the big saves at the right time. There's something that's happened to the Swedes. They just don't seem to have the firepower or the drive that they really need to be successful in this game tonight.
Neil Broughton face-off to the right of Tom Barrasso. Just over 4 minutes remaining here in the third period. Here is a race for it. Coming back and knocking it away was Thomas Eriksson. Eriksson now simply let it go out to the center ice area. No Team Sweden player was in sight. Pass, that was knocked down by Gustafsson. Out to Mats Naslund. Naslund at the blue line. He overskated the puck, and it bounces back again, this time taken by Neil Broughton. Left for Phil Housley. Over on the right side. It comes back to Housley again. He lost the puck momentarily. It was taken by Gustafsson, and that was blocked. Out to center ice. USA on the move again. Here's Jensen in over the line. Coming right in front. He shoots. He scores! On a backhand. David Jensen.
Well, David Jensen, certainly, they talk about young hockey players having speed. He gets the puck, moves along the boards. Good pass. He moves to the net. The Swede defenseman just sort of gives up a little bit, tries to reach with a stick. Peter Lindmark goes down, flip over the shoulder.
Well, this is your angle, Don.
Well, it's a tough play for a goalie, but he's got to stay on his feet. He's got to be able to follow the puck. He's only got one place to go with it, and that is in front of the net.
From the face-off, the puck is driven up to the USA line. Carrying it in over the line, offside, was Håkan Lou.
They talk about young hockey players learning how to skate. A perfect example is there, right there on David Jensen. When he got the puck, he accelerated the net, beat the defenseman. And when you got a stride, sometimes the defenseman will just sort of give up on you and give you that little extra hole you need.
Face-off from the draw. It goes back to USA territory. Now coming up, this is Dave Christian out to center ice. Flipped in over the line by defenseman Gordy Roberts. Puck is in Team Sweden territory. Down the right side. Coming out is Teldin. Teldin to center. Shot it down to the left of Tom Barrasso. Coming back for it. Mats Thelin couldn't get to it in time. They fight for it along the boards with Håkan Lou. It is drilled behind Barrasso. Gordy Roberts to his right. Roberts being tied up by Lou behind the net. Puck comes out in front. A shot. Barrasso down to cover up on a quick shot by Kent Nilsson. USA is leading Team Sweden 7-1. This is Canada Cup 84. Face-off will take place to the right of Tom Barrasso with 2:24 remaining. USA leading 7-1. Opening game, Canada Cup 84. Face-off was done incorrectly. They'll do it over again.
Nothing upsets a goalie anymore was when a play stop and a player puts a puck in the net. Somehow it breaks your concentration.
Rob Carpenter on the ice for the face-off for Team USA, taking the face-off against Pat Sundstrom. From the face-off, it comes off the boards. Rod Langway. Langway tried to pass to center for Olachuk. Couldn't get to it, but Eddie Olachuk has put a tremendous effort in this game.
Late in the game, they're still diving, blocking shots. They're doing all the things that it's going to take to win the Canada Cup.
Olachuk has picked up 2 assists. Bryan Trottier has scored twice for Team USA. Thomas Gradine to Bo Eriksson. Eriksson just simply lobbed it high. They drill it off the glass. Going back for it now is Tom Hirsch. Hirsch taken out of the play in the corner. Olachuk drives it around the boards out to center. And going back for it this time is Pat Sundstrom. Sundstrom comes to the center ice red line. Gets to the USA blue line. He is stopped. At center ice, the puck is loose. This is Sundstrom again. Pat Sundstrom coming down in over the line. Stops, turns. Being forechecked by Rod Langway. Puck comes back. Thomas Eriksson takes it into the corner, shot it back behind Barrasso. Tom Hirsch takes it off the boards. A pass to Mark Johnson, couldn't get to it in time, and coming back down over his own blue line was Thomas Eriksson. He shot it out to center, over on the left side, up in over the line. Failing to click on a pass was Jan Clausen, who's seen limited action tonight. We have less than a minute in this hockey game. Back behind goaltender Peter Lindmark. The puck is left. Coming out, Eldebrink. A pass to center. Over on the right side. Eklund failed to get anywhere with it. It bounces back to Trachier. Trachier, his pass for Mark Johnson was too far. Going back for it is Anderson. Over on the left side. A bouncing puck handled by Clausen. Clausen, right side, out to the center ice area. This is Thomas Sandstrom. Sandstrom was sent flying by Ramsey. Puck comes back out to center ice. It is taken there by Peter Anderson. Anderson tries a pass. Now he gets it off the boards again. He covers at center, and it's drilled back down in over the line. All the way back down to the stick of Peter Lindmark. We've got 4 seconds remaining. Out to center as the horn goes, and this game is over.
Well, the U.S. certainly played to their game plan. They dominated the Swedish team, and their victor. And Bob Johnson, I know, has got to be very, very proud of his team.
Well, that's it. Team USA defeats Team Sweden by a score of 7-1. Opening game on Canada Cup 84.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the Labatt's Players of the Game Awards is Mr. Rod McLeod, Vice President, Atlantic Region, Labatt Brewing Company. The Labatt's Player of the Game for Team USA is number 19, Bryan Trottier. Bryan Trottier receives a beautiful Eskimo carving through the courtesy of Esso. Mr. McLeod will now present the Labatt's Player of the Game Award for Team Sweden to number 14, Kent Nilsson. He receives a Canon T70 camera. Ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to follow the Canada Cup Hockey Series, to be presented by Labatt's on the CTV television network, on the TV.
Well, that's it, Don. The Team USA domination over Team Sweden, and that's the word to use because they simply dominated play. The outstanding goaltending of young Tom Barrasso, of course, we've talked about it so much, but tonight was a prime example of just how good this youngster is. Peter Lindmark played well for Sweden, but again, I thought he was left all alone back there on more than one occasion. I thought their defense was very weak.
Well, I thought they were too. I felt a little sorry for Peter Lindmark. 25 seconds into the game, they're behind 1-0 and hadn't been tested. And all of a sudden, he makes a couple big saves, and Team Sweden just doesn't seem to have it. They don't have the drive, and they have some opportunities. Tom Barrasso comes up with a big save, and all of a sudden they're behind 2-0. And I think when you're playing against experienced defensemen like Mike Ramsey and Rod Langway and Gordy Roberts, these fellas, you know, as the game gets sort of a little out of control as far as lead, you get a couple behind, they start tightening up. They don't seem to pinch in, make the offensive effort in the opposition's end, and instead they try and look after their home end. And as the game wore on, I think the Swedes got a little frustrated, and then Tommy Barrasso, as the night went on, had a little easier time.
All right, let's take a look at the scoring summary for Victoriaville. The Canada Cup 84 game and the Victoriaville scoring summary in the first period. Bryan Trottier scored his first of 2 goals of the night, assisted by Gordy Roberts after only 25 seconds had elapsed. And USA jumped into a 1-0 lead. Then Rob Carpenter made it 2-0, assisted by Ed Olachuk and Chris Chelios at 16:38. So it was 2-0. In the second period, Sweden got on the scoreboard. Gustafsson scored from Eriksson at 2:53, but then USA came storming back. It was on a goal by Eriksson and Neil Broughton assisting along with Jensen at 9:31. USA Gordy Roberts scored a power play goal with Chelios assisting at 13:46. And the USA simply dominated from then on, and so they led again as they moved further in front. In the third period, it was all USA. Trachier scoring his second goal of the night. Mullen and Johnson assisting, 4:28. And then Brian Lawton scored, again assisted by Ed Olachuk, who had a good night. USA now really moving in front, 14:29. They led 6-1. The scoring was wrapped up in the third period. The USA scoring, Dave Jensen scoring from Christian and Housley at 16:43. Shots on goal. The USA outshot Sweden 32-24, and the final score, USA 7, Sweden 1. Now, let's go back. Here is John Wells.
So for now, that's the story from Halifax. A 7-1 final favors Team USA in Game 1 of the Canada Cup. And let's get some comments from Roger Nielsen as to exactly what went wrong for Team Sweden today. Really, they never got into the game, did they at all?
Well, I think they did, John, for the first period and part of the second. After Gustafsson scored, you know, we thought that they might be really coming back. But midway through the second period, they died. And, you know, Swedish teams seemed to have had a history in the last few years of seemed to lose heart. And I didn't think that Kent Nilsson before the game was very optimistic. He, you know, mentioned how they got bombed in the last Canada Cup, and just listening to him, I didn't feel very confident about the Swedes' chances. And yet, when they came out with a gutty first period, they took all the checks that the U.S. Gave them, and they really controlled the period. They were down 2-0, but they came in strong at the start of the second period, and then after that, it was strictly no contest.
Well, Gustafsson got them within 1 goal early in the second period, and I guess after the 3-1 goals, what I'm trying to say that the Americans never let up after that.
That's right, and the USA started forechecking then too, and of course they caused the Swedes to cough the puck up, the 6th goal in particular, and also their penalty killing for the USA was very strong.
All right, Swedish power play, you were talking about that. A little ineffective as we watched the game this afternoon.
That's right. The U.S. had strong penalty killing, but we wanted to show you one play where the Swedes actually broke down the U.S. box. And here I think they've got control, and they're nifty with the puck. There's no question about that. And here the Swedish forward has it over in the corner, and they're trying to get a point shot open. But the U.S. are doing a good job here. As you can see, they've got these two guys covered well. And the Swedes are patient. They're taking their time, getting the puck back, trying to get this point man out in the open for the shot. And that's when the U.S. commit themselves. And the U.S. forward was a little slow in sagging back. And the Swedes had a great chance, but Barrasso came up with another big save.
Good work, Roger. Let's get Bruce Hood's opinion on exactly what he saw in that game. It looked like an easy game for a referee to handle. Bruce, is that a true assessment?
John.
No? Okay.
No, it started out to be tough because I said before the cross-checking and the high-sticking and elbowing, and they're trying to establish some supremacy. But referees are just like fans. They want to see a good hockey game. And when a game gets to be 5 and 6-1, there's a tendency that you aren't in it as much as because the teams aren't either. But when you lose the concentration, that's when something can happen out there, and you have to hang in right to the finish with them.
Did you see a Swedish letdown? Did you focus in on that?
Oh, yes, sure did. It was much like watching the Swedes and Germany the other night, where Germany just died after a while when they were playing against the Swedes. I thought when the Swedes started out so strong that we were going to be in for a real good one, right through.
And do you know if that one went in and right through the net or not yet?
I haven't found out, but
we'll check it out on the replay a little bit later on. All right, Roger, you've got one more highlight, another American goal.
We just wanted to show you Jensen's goal, and he really got the puck up well. It was a great backhand. And on this play, there was a good play at the blue line as well. We talked earlier about how it's good at the blue line for the man in the middle to go for the net, but it's also good to pass the puck wide at the blue line. And here it gave Jensen that step on the defenseman. He got around, and the goalkeeper challenged, as he should, but Jensen got it up high. And it was a great play by a rookie. And actually, the U.S. team got some good game from some unheralded players like Olchuk and Jensen and even Hirsch. They got a surprisingly strong game from the whole team.
And some very pretty goals in Canada Cup game number 1 for Team USA, a 7-1 victory over Sweden. We'll continue with Canada Cup coverage on TSN after this.
Well, I know you'll agree it was all Team USA as they defeat Team Sweden by a score of 7-1. We talked about Bryan Trottier being such an influence on Team USA, and tonight was no exception. 2-goal performance by Trachier. Donnie, let's take a look at one of those 2 goals.
Well, Bob Johnson was definitely looking at leadership qualities out of Bryan Trottier, and he certainly gets it right off the bat. Gordy Roberts makes a good play, gets the puck in over the blue line here, and all of a sudden, Bryan Trottier out of nowhere. Mark Johnson's right there, pass Trachier on the fly, pass Peter Lindmark, no chance. That's what the leadership qualities of Bryan Trottier are all about.
Well, we talked about Trachier earlier, and of course, if they have one difficulty, it is the scoring prowess for USA, and Bryan Trottier is going to be the leader in the scoring department. Well, Sweden did get a goal. Don, I know you want to talk about it.
Well, they've still got 4 games in the Canada Cup round robin series to go, and one of the things they're going to have to do, they're going to have to learn to put the puck in the net, but this was one highlight for them for the night, and it's something to look forward to. They capitalized on a mistake by Rod Langway, and Bent Oak Gustafson gets the puck, and Tommy Barrasso makes maybe the only mistake of the night for him. Comes in, little fake, goes down, waits for him to make the move, and Gustafson puts it up over top Barrasso. It's a good play on the part of Gustafson. He gets Barrasso moving, and, you know, it got Sweden back in the game, but certainly wasn't enough to get them back to where, on the flow that they really wanted to find.
Well, it's the experience of the youngsters on Team USA. They've had world-class experience. They've played in the Olympics in 1980, 1984. Some who have not played in the Olympics have played in the Junior World Hockey Championships. So although they're young, they're experienced in World Hockey Championship play, and it showed.
Well, certainly. Bob Johnson, that's all he talked about today was the 80 Olympic team. He's got a couple of members off there. He's got 5 members off the 84 Olympic team, and certainly, you know, those players played about 60 games internationally last year, so he's definitely got a lot of international experience, plus Rod Langway and Bryan Trottier.
Donnie, the game was a little chippier than I thought it was going to be. I don't know whether Team Sweden was out to prove that they could now take the body checks and so on, but I thought right from the start they had made a point they weren't going to back down.
Well, the U.S., I think, was trying to come out and show a little bit of dominance, too. The Swedes have got the reputation of not liking the rough going, and maybe one of the things that the U.S. team said in the dressing room, let's go, be aggressive, find out what happens. And the Soviet referee let a few things go early. There was some high stick and a few elbows, and the U.S., you know, they gradually took control. And I don't know whether that was one of the things why the Swedes backed off, but it was certainly a factor.
We know Tommy Barrasso, again, was outstanding, and I think he's going to be the key for the success of Team USA if they are going to advance. What Team Sweden's going to do right now, they have to go back and regroup.
Well, Leif Bork has got a tough job. It's tough turning around, looking at a loss like this. He's got to reorganize. He's got to come back and play the Soviets. How do you prepare? What is the angle you go at? Do you try and work a little bit more on offense, or you try and work on defense against the Soviets? The Soviets are a quick hockey club, and they certainly look after both ends. So the Swedes have got a tough chore cut out for them.
All right, well, final score again. Team USA 7, Team Sweden 1. Right now, back to John Wells.
And I think we have to give Coach Bob Johnson of Team USA just a little bit of credit here. He did a masterful job of coaching his Calgary Flames against the Edmonton Oilers when we watched that Stanley Cup final last year together, Roger, and Calgary gave the Oilers as much problem as anybody during the Stanley Cup. What did Bob Johnson do right in picking this team?
Well, it's hard to tell just watching, but one thing that Bob Johnson always seems to be able to do is to make every player feel really important. And often his lesser players have a role to play, and they come up big for him. And often he changes the role, as we saw in that series. And he had different players doing different roles in the games. And he also is able to, as we mentioned earlier, to change systems for a particular game. And I think he's one of the better coaches in hockey, and I think he's very suited for a deal like this where you get all your team together quickly, and he can size up very easily which players that he has to say the right things to. And plus he's always had good success with his veterans, and players like Broughton, Langway, and Trachier came up very strong.
Well, Trachier coming up with 2 goals for Team USA today, but you suggested earlier that a lot of the lesser lights did a lot of work as far as getting the United States into a very commanding lead, particularly in that second period.
Well, that's correct. We saw a player like Jensen break away for a goal. I thought Ed Olchuk played a very strong game along the boards. And of course, the big plus, I think, for the USA was the fact that Barrasso looked like the goalkeeper they hoped he would be. And after their defense tightened up, I think the USA are going to be very encouraged going into their 2 games with Canada and Czechoslovakia.
Well, in international hockey, there's always a lot of talk about officiating, and really no controversy surrounding this game today, Bruce Hood. But how does the Canada Cup Committee go about selecting referees and choosing them for specific games? Because today's game really not all that important to the eventual outcome of the Canada Cup, but when we look ahead, who's going to work the final and all of that? So how is that basically decided?
Well, each country is represented in the officiating. Now, this year, for instance, they've got Brian Lewis and Ron Wicks representing Canada. They've got Mike North representing the USA. They've got Dag Olsen from Sweden, who is another veteran referee from that country, and of course Carpenter from Russia. Those are the 5 referees that will work all of the tournament games. And then the selections for the semifinals and finals will be from that 5. A certain amount of politics involved in it, of course, because our people are the best, obviously. Should be working, but if Team Canada is in there against Soviet Union, I question whether
what do we do? Do we flip a coin to find out who's going to be there for the final game?
It's hard to say, but there is a difference. Now the other thing is Germany are represented by a linesman, and we have linesmen, of course, from Canada and U.S. to fill out the staff. I would make a guess that if Team Canada is in the final, as much as the people who run things would like to have our people working it, I doubt that Russia will agree to that.
All right. Let's take you back to Halifax right now, and I understand a news conference is underway, the traditional post-game news conference, so let's pick up on the action back in the Halifax Civic Center.
Thank you, John. Right now, a press conference going on below us. Bob Johnson, coach of Team USA, is standing by, commenting on Bryan Trottier being awarded the most valuable player for Team USA. Let's go down there.
Well, I'm glad that he won the award tonight, because he certainly deserved to win the award. I told Bryan about 2 weeks ago, my only comparison to that is they booed Roger Maris when he was trying to hit his 61st home run. They booed the New York Yankees. They booed the Montreal Canadiens because they were winners. Well, Bryan's a winner, and they can boo him all as long as he just keeps winning those awards as the outstanding player for us. I don't see anybody booing Peter Stastny. I I don't see anybody booing Peter Stastny.
How do I feel about it? I have no real feelings. I expected it. I expected the booing. When I made the decision to play for Team USA, I expected it. I expected the worst. And so, if they want to boo me, that's fine. You know, I don't. They boo me anyway when I play for the Islanders. I come up to Montreal or Toronto or Winnipeg or Edmonton or some of the other cities. It's magnified somewhat, but really I have no feelings on it. I expected it, so it's. I really, honestly, I don't know.
Well, that was Bryan Trottier commenting on some of the boos he received tonight when he stepped onto the ice, and he was the most valuable player for Team USA, and Don, I think you'd agree with that.
He certainly was. He certainly showed the leadership qualities that Bob Johnson wants in him, and I'm sure the players certainly are looking at Bryan for the leadership throughout the whole tournament.
Well, he's going to give them that, of course. He always has since he joined the National Hockey League, and that decision to join Team USA, that was a typical Trachier move.
Well, Bryan honestly believes he's a North American citizen. He's an Indian, and I feel for him. I think he's right. I'm sure there'd be other players in the same situation that would do the same thing.
Well, it's hard to believe another Canada Cup has rolled around. It's been exciting for us to be here, of course. Canada Cup '84 to bring you the opening game, and it was all Team USA, as those of you who watched saw. The final score, Team USA 7, Team Sweden 1. Outstanding performance by goaltender Tom Barassa, defenseman Rod Langway, and of course a 2-goal performance by Bryan Trottier. Ron Hewitt for Don Edwards. Good night from Halifax.
Звенит в ушах лихая музыка атаки. Точней отдай на клюшку пас, сильней удар.
Сильней удар. Все в порядке, если только на площадке. Великолепная пятерка и вратарь. Суровый бой ведет ледовая дружина. Мы верим мужеству отчаянных парней. В хоккей играют настоящие мужчины.